This is an excerpt from Howl by Allen Ginsberg. Returning years later truly bald except for a wig of blood and tears and fingers to the visible madman doom of the wards of the mad towns of the east. Pilgrim states, rocklands and greystones fetid halls, bickering with the echoes of the soul, rocking and rolling in the midnight solitude bench dolmen dreams of love, dream of life a nightmare, bodies turned to stone as heavy as the moon, with mother finally and the last fantastic book flung out of the tenement window, and the last door closed at 4 a.m., and the last telephone slammed at the wall in reply, and the last furnished room emptied down to the last piece of mental furniture, a yellow paper rose twisted on a wire hanger in the closet, and even that imaginary, nothing but a hopeful little bit of hallucination. Ah, Carl, while you are not safe, I am not safe, and now you're really in the total animal soup of time. And who therefore ran through the icy streets obsessed with the sudden flash of the alchemy of the use of the ellipsis catalogue, a variable measure and the vibrating plane, who dreamt and made incarnate gaps in time and space through images juxtaposed, and trapped the archangel of the soul between two visual images, and joined the elemental verbs and set the noun and dash of consciousness together, jumping with sensation of pater omnipotens aeterna deus, to recreate the syntax and measure of pure human prose, and stand before you speechless and intelligent and shaking with shame, rejected yet confessing out of the soul to conform to the rhythm of thought in his naked and endless head, the madman bum and angel beat in time, unknown, yet putting down here what might be left to say in time come after death, and rose reincarnate in the ghostly clothes of jazz and the gold horn shadow of the band, and blew the suffering of America's naked mind for love into Ella Ella Lama Sabachthani, saxophone cry that shivered the cities down to the last radio, with the absolute heart of the poem of life butchered out of their own bodies good to eat 1,000 years.
This is a story about destruction. About a world burned, and burned again, burned over. This is a story about the death of a world that died so long ago there are none now who remember it. We took refuge here, in Convergence Valley. In this isolated place, we could be saved from the devastation that fell outside, and as the world burned, we hid away here, among the peaks. Beside the slope of Do Not Go There, at the end of the world, in the vast, barren expanse of the flats, yes, at the mouth of the river that is her mouth. It was a strange and hostile place, but in a world gone mad, it was home. And we survived. And maybe, for a time, we thrived. And then the unthinkable happened. Shoots through the ashes. Little by little, the world once burned over, well, it began to heal. Green shoots returned to the flats. The winds that cut us off from the outside world were becalmed, caught in the doldrums of something else, something waiting. And Convergence Valley was no longer a place of refuge, but a prison. Or was it something else? This is a story about what happens when a nation falls. This is a story about what happens when everything we took for granted is upended and destroyed. This is a story about a shelter torn asunder by the forces of human lives and human will. This is a story about that most destructive thing of all. This is a story about hope. Welcome to Convergence Valley, or what's left of it.
Well, welcome back to Desperate Attune. We are playing Apocalypse World, continuing with the story of Convergence Valley, and you are very welcome to listen to us. That's why we're here. That's why you're listening. Thank you very much for listening. I'm Holly. And we are waiting a little bit on Tree, so I will introduce Tree here. You know Tree. Tree is Tree, and will be joining us shortly. But besides me and Tree, there is also Zoheb.
Yes, I'm
Aadiyat.
here. He's here too.
I'm here too.
And Salty.
I may
You
or
won't
may not be
believe.
here.
No,
You don't know.
no. They're there. They're there.
You won't believe.
Maybe this is a pre-recording.
It said I wouldn't believe. Anyway. Yes. It would be very impressive for this to be a pre-recording. Anyway.
Isn't
would
it?
any-
Ha ha ha, yes, that is an excellent joke you made, fellow Desperate Attune podcast member.
Yes. Listen, I am on the soundboard and you are not yet. You need to say something on par with despising that. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
would anyone like to recap what happened last time?
Yes. Let's see. What are the things that happened last time? Iskandric found out that she is... Iskandric has been implanted with a chest spider that contains the essence of Cazador Sicari. And is now...
And is also connected to the internet, importantly.
Yes. Yes, so Iskandric is basically downloading Cazador Sicari at a variable internet speed. We'll see what happens once the upload fully completes. I don't know if I'm making the metaphor correctly. Anyway, she's going to be Cazador Sicari. We don't know if she's fully Cazador Sicari yet, or what happens if that happens. And then she got on a bike and decided to go hang out at Sicari's Regret, which is on fire because Minotaur set it on fire because Ahri had tense negotiations with several people. I think I'll need someone to recap Ahiri's negotiations there. But basically, part of it involved asking Terminator. Well, Terminator. Basically, the two of them agreed that it was time to get Screwtape Ronin out of the garage where he had his workshop, and Terminator set fire to it. And then Iskandric arrived to save the day. Perfidelity stopped the flamethrower that was shooting fire. And also then Perfidelity was handed over to Iskandric like a gentle puppy. Prior to that, Perfidelity had also emerged from the tank where she had been psychically experimenting with weird technological devices. Also had emerging from the tank was someone who may or may not be Perfidelity and may or may not be the courier. This game is very hard to recap because I don't understand what's happening. Also, the courier has gone away, and Damnou has apparently gone after the courier.
To interject a bit,
Yes.
wasn't there a bit about Perfidelity reading something on a monitor and then deleting them or something?
No, Perfidelity accessed this weird internet that is underneath the valley.
Yes.
Found out that there is a bunch of information here, encrypted it,
Encrypted it.
gave the other Perfidelity the key to the encryption.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which one's the other Perfidelity?
Well, Perfidelity Prime has the key.
Which one is Perfidelity Prime? Is it the one played by Salty or not?
Yes, it's the one played by Salty.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So wait,
So yeah, both
Prime...
of them were played by me. How do I know which one's Perfidelity Prime?
I don't understand what's happening in this campaign anymore. I'm just going to shoot. That's why I'm just shooting things.
Yeah, is Perfidelity Prime the derived one?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anyway, yes, the point is the Perfidelity, the player character, has the key to the encryption of the computer terminal that is located under Sicari's Regret. But
that's nice. That's nice for her. I'm glad. I'm still going to probably, try to kill the other one. We'll see what's going on. Yeah. Would someone like to explain Ahiri's wheeling and dealing? It involved Logistrix. Was that his name?
Logistric, yes. So Logistric, who is Iskandric's quartermaster, was in Sicari's Regret to find a buyer for the seashells. And yeah, that's the part I remember and understand. I don't. So who understands why Ahri set up a trade deal between Logistric and Cotopaxi's Polycule?
Yeah, Cotopaxis. The idea there was to establish connections between Iskandric and the future vice president, and also to get Ahri a supplier because the Polycule is quite wealthy. And so Ahri struck a personal deal with Hydrant Best Regards to get supplies shipped to Sicari's Regret from the Polycule as part of setting up the meeting between Iskandric's gang and the Polycule.
I see. That's nice of Ahri to think that Iskandric's meeting with the Polycule isn't just going to be a hostile takeover.
Yeah, well, we shall see what comes of it. Logistric is at any rate having a good time with them, because that's still happening. Logistric is still hanging out with Jetlag Pistachio.
I assume that the party plans have been slightly changed, but
Yeah.
I suppose we'll see what comes of that.
Yeah, although the grease fire is mostly in the garage and the storage area mined, so I think while people who are in the front at Sicarius Regret have noticed something is up, they would not necessarily have seen, like, oh, there is a fire, we should evacuate the building, right? They might just be like, there is a kerfuffle.
There were multiple gunshots. A gang of raiders showed up.
Yeah, like a lot has happened, and they are aware that something is up, but they don't necessarily know what is up. But true, it would have changed the vibe. Yes.
But it does. But maybe people in Sicarius Regret are so chill.
I mean, this part is part fighting pit. I'm sure
It could
fires
just
break
be
out.
the security gang.
Yeah.
Well, I guess technically it was. Anyway.
Yeah.
The part of the regret is what was on fire was more or less taken care of. A lot of people are dead. We'll see what becomes of that.
Yes.
Shall we see what becomes of it?
Let's see what becomes of it.
I suppose we shall. I think that is about everything. But as usual, there are a couple of beginning of session moves.
Yes.
Correct.
And so we open it with, let us open with Perfidelity, who has 2 moves. How come your mom lets you have 2 moves?
Oh, it's 3 actually.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to begin with Ear to the Ground, which is my port of call, and I'm going to be hearing about the title of St. Firmina, and then I think I do Live Day to Day, and then I do my new move, which is Bone Feel, because that doesn't say you do it before Live Day to Day.
Lovely.
So I think that makes sense. Fantastic. Wonderful. Incredible. So Ear to the Ground is a 12.
Nice.
So on a 10 plus, word reaches you. There's a great opportunity for me here. Or I can choose from the 7 to 9 list. But I think I'm just going to go for great opportunity. What's going on at the Tower of St. Firmina?
Okay, you want a great opportunity to be at the Tower of St. Firmina. All right, we'll see if you have. We will see if you have time to get there, I suppose. But I think the great opportunity is, which you understand from having opened your brain to Iskandric, I think that's where this information comes from, that the Tower of St. Firmina is once more, communications have been fully re-established. The Tower of St. Firmina, and particularly the relic there, is once more in touch with whatever it's meant to be in touch with. The old machines. I think that is the great opportunity that thematically fits here.
Fantastic. That's great news. And then for my Live Day to Day, another 12. And let's see how Bonefeel goes as well.
And I will tell you about the resources, but let's roll all of them.
That's my miss. Incredible. Fantastic. So on a miss, you get 1, you get to hold 1, and you can spend that hold to have me already be there in a situation, but somehow pinned, caught, or trapped. Fantastic.
Okay, so you can be pinned, caught, or trapped. I will tell you about your resources, though. They go well. And so I think I will tell you the Bloodkin is free and health is easy. Because you're interested in the Bloodkin thing, so I'm going to keep pushing on it. And you will have easy access to it, for whatever that means.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Let us move then to Minotaur.
Yes, hello. I just live day to day. I'm a very simple person.
Here today, gone tomorrow.
My needs are simple, and yet they cannot be. Oh, that should also have been a +1. But so that's even worse, actually. I got a 4.
Oh, okay. So, So I'm going to say the thing that's hard for you to access at this point is enemies.
Okay.
And what's impossible is safety.
Okay.
So hard to access enemies, impossible to access safety. I think that's a fair read on it.
Sure.
And then let us see Iskandric.
10.
10. Okay. Iskandric, Bloodkin is free.
Nice.
And
Free family.
yes. And safety is easy.
Yeah, just have to sign up with Perfidelity.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think this all makes a degree of sense. So how we're framing up the sort of beginning of all of this here is that Minotaur, you have made a lot of enemies, and well, you've caused a stir here. And I think the reason why, and I'm going to time skip a little at the beginning of the session here because we've discussed this. We're not going to pick up exactly after the grease fire in Sicarius Regret, right? So I'm framing a little bit what's happening in the intervening time, which is that Minotaur, you have kicked up quite a lot of shit. Like you've attacked people at Sicarius Regret. It may have been with their blessing, but at the same time, this is one of the big arms dealer gangs who had been tying a lot of contacts around. And so you will find yourself not having any safe havens, basically. People in the marketplace, aside from maybe Ahri, who I can't control, don't give you shelter. But you have other things to worry about because you are looking for Damnou Egrivore, right?
Yes. Yeah, where'd she go in all of this?
Yeah, so you found out from Perfidelity last time that Damnou was investigating weird shit and then left. And I think that you can pick up the trail, but considering that finding your enemies, if insofar as Damnou is an enemy, you have a difficult access to enemies at the moment. And I don't know if you count Damnou as an enemy, not exactly probably, but it's a lead at least. And so this will not be entirely straightforward for you. But in order to work out where everyone is at the beginning of the session, before we jump to that, Perfidelity and Iskandric, you left Sicarius Regret. And Perfidelity, do you want to start placing you already at the workshop? Is that a good place to frame a scene? And if so, is Iskandric joining?
One, yes, I think that's an excellent place to begin the scene. And two, yeah, I think Lady Iskandric is the way into the workshop. The bike rumbling down that kind of rickety path, and yeah, I suppose what I'd like to ask then is to Lady Iskandric, you're being brought down into like this sinkhole cenote that's been filled with, well, it's a cenote, so it's depthless waters. And you're being directed to go down into the depths into some very, very narrow corridors.
Yeah.
Like kill zone corridors. I'm imagining very Viet Cong vibes.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, in for a penny, in for a pound. Iskandric has decided that she can trust Perfidelity, I think, right? Like, they're, following the little misunderstanding with the, what was it, Matthew Mark IV. I mean, this relationship has gone swimmingly well, right? So, yeah, wherever I think there's a little bit of sense of apprehension as to where we're going, but I think this being led down this narrow, and I'm guessing because it's snow, they like this like jagged rocks as well. So it's not like a cut, like smooth tunnel, right? Like you're kind of having to twist your body around little, through a little crevice, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. And I think the weather's changed in the time since we last saw. So maybe we have to leave the bike in one of the dry parts of the cave and walk and then crawl and then squeeze through some of the tunnels. And then we come out, I think this tunnel comes out onto a rocky kind of plateau platform that overlooks the cenote and the village of her mouth underneath. And Perfidelity turns to Lady Iskandric and says, well, it's beautiful, isn't it? But you had questions? And we can rest here for a little bit, get ready for the journey ahead.
And I think it is beautiful, right? I think this is one of the, because it's a bit out of the way from the action as well, right? And it's kind of wanted a little bit of comfort, a little bit of time to just, cool her head off a bit. And I think this is as good a place as she's gonna get. So she looks out over the, so we are up high and the village is down below, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so she looks up, she looks down at the landscape, and it takes a moment to take it in, and then comes back to the question of Kaivan Kagan, and I think she will sit down, so legs hanging over the edge, right?
Yes.
And she says to Perfidelity, questions there. Well, I hardly know where to begin, but sit with me and tell you what I know, and we'll see what I have to ask then.
Very well. And Perfidelity moves from, because there's this big, this is the cosmology part of her workspace, this observatory telescope and the instruments for measuring the stars and the weather. She's got this ancient kind of book in her hands, I think. Oh, no, it's not a book. It's, they're a lot like the golden discs that were launched into space upon the Voyager. Popped onto a gramophone. That's how information has been recorded. I think maybe these ones were once used as decorations. And there's a few chips and marks and scuff marks on them. And it stutters. He goes, well, very well. I'll sit next to you.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, so some Kaivan Kagan lore was requested. I thought about it a bit, didn't really prepare much, so I'm just gonna start talking, and we'll see what words come out of my mouth, and if it makes sense. All right. Okay.
Sounds good.
All good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, Iskandric, she rests her chin on her hands, and I think she's trying to figure out the way to best frame this. And she starts with something like, your memories are precious things, aren't they? Like, if you don't know where you've been from one day to the next, or how you got to be where you are, and every day the people around you feel like strangers, then what are you, really? Who are you? And what if you don't just remember who you are, but who you are is never the same from day to day. Like, you're always in this state of flux. Like, you can never settle. You're just a paper bag blown in a hurricane. I think she realizes she's kind of rambling, and then she recomposes and goes, "Okay, to understand Taiwan Kagan, you need to understand this valley. And this place, for all the little contradictions, all the little squabbling factions, it's a place that's a human place. It's alive. Have you heard it over the radio? Like, if you listen to the tower, you can hear it. The air is hissing with the screams of every person that has lived here, every place that has been, everything that has happened is screaming to be remembered, and they claw over each other, they're climbing over each other to get heard, and the wires get crossed, and what is remembered, well, it's not perfect, but something is remembered of what was. And then she points out over the mountains, which I assume are visible, like where she came in from, and says, beyond the mountains, though, the air is silent. There is nothing to be remembered. Do you know what Kagan means? The Khan of Khans. But Kaivan doesn't call himself the Khan of Khans because he rules over other Khans. No, he doesn't conquer people. Once he takes over an area, he opens up their minds, he memorizes what's within, he erases them, and he rewrites them as he sees fit over and over. He doesn't just subjugate you. You understand? He makes it so that you never were. And Iskandric is saying he does it to them, but you can tell that she means herself as well.
And Perfidelity reaches out a hand, places it on Iskandric's. Because he is the man with the jaw and the man with the red skin and the names of all he has taken tattooed upon his scalp, yes?
Yes.
He is the man at the threshold. He is the man who waits there for... There's a curious custom here to take children, maybe 16, 17, brides of the fog, he carries them over the threshold. He has been here the whole time. He's been waiting. And I think what she doesn't say, and of course what Iskandric can certainly read me, or figure out herself, is that Perfidelity has probably had a relationship to, or was one of these children. But I think what I would like to do is read you right now.
Okay.
At that
Go for it.
reveal.
Yeah.
Feeling, I think, her thumb is on Iskandric's pulse, feels the harsh beat of it. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and read.
Fantastic. So
Right.
that is a 10. So 3 questions. And I think here, how are you feeling and how can I tell? Is my first one. And then we can move on.
So the
in the
obvious
conversation.
thing, I think the obvious thing that you can feel, of course, is that the dread, like the trauma, right? But the less obviously you can tell is that like beneath that, like Iskandric is like steeling herself for, like she is planning this guy's downfall, right? She's planning her revenge.
Nice. And I think then, what are you thinking of doing is the second, and we'll leave the last as we converse further. And I think, straight up, Perfidelity says, how do you plan to forget him? Remove him from the board, as it were.
And Iskandric thinks about this, and well, I think she's been kind of like she came to this valley to look for an answer to this question, and I think she has found it. Right, the answer is the tower. The tower and its network. It is the key to the memory of this place, and Iskandric and believes that the tower and the relic within it can be a weapon to erase Taiwan from the world, which explains why she wanted it in the first place. There, we've come full circle.
Yeah, I think Perfidelity nods and goes, that is well, it's certainly not the image you put out upon initially reaching the tower. Lady Iskandric, Raider Supreme, Lady Iskandric, Savior of Convergent Valley. It has a ring to it.
You make me sound much more honorable than I am. Saving anyone here would be an incidental thing to what I want and what I need is to make that guy feel everything that he's done to me 10 times over.
Well, I suppose I have no sword to pledge to your aim, but I certainly have a mind and steel. I am with you. It is a worthy idea, but there is an evil within the valley now. I'm sure you know of Ashur-Dan, the man who slew evil, who says he slew evil, who instead breeds it, the man who Revolver Pinata works for. For.
Indeed, I've been hearing too much of him, and the valley, as it is, cannot stand against Kaifan when he gets here. The thing within me is telling me that you're right, that Smith 12 Bullets is an ally, and Ashur-Dan is an upstart that must be removed if we are to find some sense of unity in this place. And this being this Cazador Sakari, I have use of it, but I can't let it take over. Do you understand? I've gone through too much to maintain some sense of who I am. So, Ashur-Dan will deal with him. Before we do that, I need to know that what I do from this point onwards will be what I do. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes. And you're in luck. You see, the tides have been most fortuitous. They have revealed to me not a way, but I have equipment, I have the necessities that Angelica pretends at. And, well, I can certainly help you try and figure out how to do this. It will be painful. And I took my drugs to sell at the Cloud Bazaar, and I think I'm going to use my final reader person question to ask, what do you hope I'll do?
I mean, yeah, I think there's all again an obvious answer here, which is yes. I mean, Iskandric obviously hopes that you will be a useful ally, and make the messing around with implant will go well and all that. But that's like you already know that. So, what Iskandric hopes you'll do at a deeper level, as it were, I think, is Iskandric, her mind being erased and rewritten and erased again and being rewritten again, is a person without any real, like, anything anchoring her to any sense of. I mean, there are the boys, as an entity, but like they've gone through the same thing as well, right?
Mm.
So, I think what Iskandric hopes Perfidelity will do is just, stick around and be that anchor to ground her to, like, yes, here's a sense of people and place that I can actually relate myself to.
Nice. Yeah, so I think what Perfidelity does is get up from the lip
But wait,
of this plateau.
before you do that,
Mhm.
as you do that, Iskandric holds you back, but gently, and she says, sorry, Perfidelity, I've been unkind. I've been just... maybe it's just the way this mind works now. I've just been talking tactics and grand plans, and you just told me that you were an offering to this man, and I'm just so sorry. Right? I mean, this is genuine sympathy here, right? Like, yeah.
It is no matter. I don't remember. Anything could have happened. It was a different person, a different me, I suppose. Wiped away by the fog. A blank slate over and over again.
I suppose.
But that won't happen to you. I promise you that. I will do what I can.
Suppose forgetting has its benefits.
You could call it that. But anyway, we have work to do. And I have someone that I'd like to speak to. So, get up. I can numb what I can. And then we'll see what we can do about this thing inside of you. Yeah, so I suppose then, new project. I would like to, I suppose, enclose this memory spider.
Yeah.
We'll try and do something around that.
Put a firewall.
Yeah, we're putting up the Great Firewall around Memory Spider.
Okay.
Yeah. Kaspersky antivirus.
Okay. So, cool. You can do it, but you will need to use your psychic overload chamber to do it. Using your psychic overload chamber will include like a roll. It inherently includes risk because you do augury with it.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see if I can come up with another thing from the list as well. Give me a moment.
Do I have to take apart Lady Iskandric to do this?
I mean, yes, you do need to open Lady Iskandric up again and access the spider. That makes sense. Yeah. So it's psychic isolation chamber needs to be used, and you need to do some surgery. Makes sense.
Perfidelity does surgery on a grape. I always knew this moment would come. Yeah. So I suppose you trust me, and I think there is only a little quaver in Perfidelity's hand when she picks up the scalpel.
Yeah.
Does
It's not Iskandric's first rodeo, field surgery by like Angelica's probably the first doctor she has ever met, so
Yeah, so I think what it looks like is you're laid down, or you lay yourself down in the psychic overload chamber, and Perfidelity's kind of perched up above you, like still kind of in it. I think it's a two-person augury sort of situation here to open up your chest cavity, where I think do you think where Angelica inserted the spider, it's already healed?
Oh, I don't
Like
think
it's
so
already
because
scarred.
no, I don't think so, right? Because Iskandric immediately went over to the in fact, what's my harm? I'm still at I was at 2 harm last time, so Iskandric definitely has not, I don't think, fully healed from the injuries. I thought what was going on is not that Angelica made a new incision per se, but because Iskandric got shot up, like this was essentially she was just putting it there, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to do surgery on you in the psychic overload chamber, which I'm picturing is kind of it's probably just a sensory deprivation chamber, is what I'm picturing. Like this big egg-shaped sort of thing. All black, all cool black glass surrounded by the lapping of salt water. Probably fitted with from before the first fall, probably fitted with speakers that you could, listen to calming sounds of the ocean or larks in the breeze. And yeah. So I think then, am I augurying here?
Yes. I think that you are, because you're using the chamber.
Nice. And yeah, that's good. And I'll ask then before I roll, Iskandric, do you want to back my play? Do you want to back my surgery augury?
Yeah,
vibe?
okay. So I'm rolling plus HX, is it? I've rolled snake eyes.
It does not go well.
No.
We haven't had an life untenable yet.
Yeah. Okay, so this is just a miss on setting up the augury, so things don't go catastrophically wrong. But I think what makes sense here is, I think, Iskandric, the reason this goes wrong is that for some reason, I suppose it is the psychic injection, it rejects Perfidelity. And so as a consequence of this, you may choose either take a harm, which puts you in the it starts to get worse harm point, or the psychic isolation chamber breaks before Perfidelity has time to get to this.
No. We spent too much time setting this up. It's gonna get harmed.
Yeah. Okay. So I think this begins to the thing that has been inserted into you,
Oh, but
protests
wait.
at this. Mhm.
But wait, hang on. So, but last session I was at 2 harm, which means this session would it not have got a little bit better with time? And so plus 1 harm would put it back to 2?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. No. It's when time passes. True, I did say that time passed enough to get you to the workshop, but harm does not automaticely heal between sessions, and you haven't
So
rested. So
harm
One
up
of the
to...
principles is harm should heal slow and get worse fast.
Nice. Okay. Well, in that case, I'm living up to that principle.
yeah,
Hell yeah.
I think harm makes sense because you're trying to
Yeah.
assist someone doing surgery on you, right? And so it going wrong, it's not your body rejects the surgery; it's that the psychic spider rejects the surgery. But it's still possible. This will just hurt. It turns out.
hmm
No harm move.
Jeez.
No harm move. No, I don't think it's interesting in this position because Iskandric might pass out from this, but Iskandric is also being done surgery upon, so passing out is almost beneficial.
Good.
So I don't think a harm move is necessary.
They did all agree on a grape, and it hit with an 11.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I live
For now.
for now.
So, you are reaching through the psychic maelstrom and isolating or protecting a person or thing. Yes, that is your goal. Or you can pick something else.
I wonder if it's extract and contain a fragment of the world's psychic maelstrom itself.
Okay. Tell me why you think that. I think I can guess, but
I think here is that I'm extracting. Yeah, I'm taking out the memory spider and removing it and containing it so that
Okay.
it's safer.
So you're physically removing the implant from Iskandric and isolating it. Very well.
Yeah.
Then I think you can do that. You can extract and contain the spider and the world psychic maelstrom. And on a 10 plus, you choose 2 from the list.
Yes. So I think I've got 3 benefits that I'm interested in. One of them is it reaches deep. What do you think this would mean into the world psychic maelstrom? I wonder if it's applicable here, because otherwise I'd just go persists for a while in stable and contained. But I think deep is interesting.
So if you want to go deep here, I will say that if you don't go deep, you cannot access whatever information the spider contains. If you choose to go deep, though, it will remain connected to whatever is going on here, and you will have a way to access it. So basically, it's a link. You can choose to close the link, but if you want this to go deep, it will be maintained even after it's extracted.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to go for deep and it persists for a while, because I think stable and contained, that's boring. It's boring.
Okay, so it is not stable and contained, then it will persist. You will draw this out, and there is a link, but it is leaking. It is not contained. And so, spoilers, I can tell you, this is going to affect people who have a psychic connection to Knight President Cassador Sicari, that is to say Tar Minotaur.
Slow. Love that for her.
Yep.
Yeah.
But maybe we will move the spotlight away here then as you extract the Cassador spider.
I think that sounds like an excellent idea.
And we will return focus to Ahri for a second. Are you there?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Doing all right?
Well, yes, you and I both.
Yes.
Should I roll my role for living day to day? No, I see what my establishment's doing first, right?
Yeah. Establishment, then the day to day.
Muy bien. So the establishment is simply 2d6. Oh no, it's plus hard, which I have. I have +1. It's a 7.
Yes,
Good, good name for the role. Okay.
So on a 7, something happens. I'm very sorry to tell you. The brain doesn't brain today. So some
Quite
stuff
alright.
happens, but other stuff doesn't happen. Question mark. But actually, before we do this, the previous session we had depleted stores and meddling.
Yeah.
Are we feeling to some extent that those wants have been met, or are they persisting? I don't know. whether we
Depleted
settled on,
stores. Depleted stores you fixed because you struck a trade deal.
Yes.
I don't know that meddling was fixed because you struck a trade deal. So it makes a degree of sense
Fair. Sure.
that
Okay.
people are meddling. Yeah. So,
So
you
maybe
have
go on.
on a 7 to 9, you have all of your surpluses and only one want. So
Right. Okay. So I will change my depleted stores to something else. Let's call it I don't know, upkeep and repairs. Seems like the kind of thing that should happen.
Yep.
And it seems like meddling is ongoing. We haven't fixed that yet, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Upkeep and meddling.
Yeah. So if I have my surpluses, that means I have 1 barter, which means my living day-to-day gets a +1.
Mm-hmm.
The 6. I'm still in trouble.
Yeah. Okay. So
something is hard and something is impossible.
yes, and I'm. We can alter this if you would like, but what I have set up ahead of time is that security is hard for you, and wellness
Yes.
is impossible.
Truly. Yeah. Very good. Well, you know, we do like life to imitate art, don't we, folks? Yeah. Okay.
Hope you're all right. Yeah.
No. Yeah. I'm just going to be a bit low energy. Don't worry about it. Yes. Now, if I recall correctly, at the end of last week, at the end of the last session, I had made the deal in question, and then Minotaur had set. Oh yeah, that's why upkeep and repairs, because my fucking they set it on fire. Of course, it's upkeep and repairs. Yes.
Yeah. There was
Maybe
a green
in fact,
fire in the garage.
let's pick upkeep and repairs as the want because the place is burnt down. Great.
Keep it up.
Yeah. So it's not, there's damage from the fire. It's not completely burned down. But what I would like to do to frame a scene here at the beginning is to have a scene with both Ahri and Minotaur in it, because in all this chaos, we're having some time pass, so we're not picking this up immediately after the fire. Like, the fire's put out, there's some work to do that. Iskandric takes off with Perfidelity, and so on. But what I would like to frame up is Minotaur is looking for Damnou, your employee Damnou Egrevor. And I think by now it becomes obvious also to Ahri that Damnou Egrevor is missing. And if I recall correctly, Perfidelity didn't share the clue that you found.
No,
is that
she
right,
did not.
Perfidelity? No, Perfidelity, you kept the knife.
So of course I kept the knife.
Yeah.
Truly.
Got to keep knives between friends. So I think it's interesting to have a bit of a setup for Minotaur and Ahri to discuss the fact that Damnou has gone missing, and that Damnou is in pursuit of... Because Minotaur knows a little bit about why Damnou disappeared, right? You know that Damnou is pursuing whatever Perfidelity found. So do we want to start with a scene with you guys discussing that? Is that an interesting place to begin?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
You on board with that, Minotaur? Yeah.
I would have preferred to just cut to the action, but okay.
Mostly I want to see if there's a interesting way to involve Ahri in the chase for Damnou. So that's why.
Ahri, would you like to be involved?
I don't think, unless you convince me, I'm going to be, because A, she can take care of herself fully, and B, my house burnt down.
Okay, maybe that is
not my house.
Place to start then.
Yeah.
Okay, then maybe we can brush over that scene and just say that the information has been shared with you, that Damnou...
Sure, yeah. I mean, like, I'm aware, and I think if something happens where I could feasibly have helped, I can roll to aid, like, given that the conversation has happened. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, so we can flash back to it. Okay, if you're okay with it then, Ahri, then we will begin with Minotaur instead.
Yeah, no problem.
To set up this. All right, cool. So, Minotaur, tell me, how do you go about looking for a person who has vanished without too much of a trace? Like, I have a way for you also, but I would like to hear your idea first.
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, everything is now in confusion with the fires and so on.
Yeah.
But vanished without a trace, right?
Well, kind of. There was a clue left behind, but Perfidelity took it, so...
Yeah, but no one can vanish without a trace.
Nope.
Not in this world, no. Not in the Cloud Bazaar. It's not like out in the middle of the wilderness where no one ever sees you. Damnou Gravery is an armed, has a weapon, is a known person.
Yeah.
I think some inquiries would probably be able to tell me, like, they went that way.
Mm-hmm.
Or is that entirely impossible?
No, that is possible. And the person who can tell you they went that away is, I think, Disco Gilgamesh. Ahri's other employee, who we saw last session that Disco figured something was up and disappeared to a back room. But now I think she in fact says, like, you find her as you ask around. She says, I think, I understand you're looking for Damnou Egravor. I have made some inquiries. I think I know where she went. What I'm less clear on is why. And she doesn't ask you this, but I think she eyes you and there's a questioning of, are you going to share information with me, or do you just expect to be told?
No, I'm not going to share with her. I think I just simply say, the why of it is the question to ask once I have found her. Because, I mean, what am I really going to say? It's not like I actually know anything, right?
Do you mind if I come along, then? We might team up for this.
So is this someone I actually know?
Not really. You know that Disco Gilgamesh is one of the employees at Sicari's Regret who turned up kind of recently. And I think that's the extent of it. Like, I don't think you know her reputation as a treasure hunter or anything like that. You can if you want. It depends on how much attention you pay to the employees at Sicari's Regret, which I imagine is not a lot. But she's asking.
But basically, if I give her a once-over, does this seem like a serious person or an idiot?
It does seem like a serious person, and I mean, you can read a person here, as she.
Yeah. But mostly about the once-over. But I think, definitely I'm going to give her a read because she's serious. If it was like Karun or whoever, I'd have left already.
Yeah,
like Batman. My role model in all things in life.
Yes.
Especially my relationship to my parents. Oh, there we go. 11.
Yes, so you get some questions.
I'm so sorry. Did you just say that? Did you imply that your very much alive parents should be more like Batman's parents?
No, I was trying on Terminator's parents.
Oh, sorry. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was like, that seems like a lot. Anyway, thank you.
It would involve them being very wealthy.
Yeah, no, undoubtedly, yes. Were Minotaur's parents very wealthy? Interesting question. Anyway, please.
Yeah.
Wealthy and experienced. Okay, so I got a 3, which means what? 3 questions? Was that 2?
3 questions, I believe. Yes, but you don't get a +1 from them.
No. Okay. Maybe I'll ask more questions as I go along. What are they thinking of doing?
Yeah, so...
Like, what's their angle here?
Yeah, I think I will answer this in the what's their angle here. I'll give you more information than the question strictly requires, because I think that's interesting. And what they are thinking of doing, or what they are interested in, is Disco Gilgamesh has all this time been looking for the treasures that Perfidelity has been having a look ahead at all times, right? Now, she very strongly suspects that Damnou has gone off in search of information on the treasure that she seeks. So, she is not interested in Damnou, she is interested in what Damnou is looking for. Which she believes she has a right to.
Okay. Well, the road is hard, dangerous. I have enemies. This person has their own agenda. That's fine, but they can come with me. Let's see. So I think I'd just simply say, do you have a vehicle?
Oh, does Disco Gilgamesh have a vehicle? Ahri, I will forward a question to you. Do you have vehicles in your establishment, do you think?
I don't think so, because I didn't pick it as an option, and I think you
Okay.
can. Right?
Okay.
I had a garage in which other people's vehicles were sometimes parked.
Yeah.
That garage, something happened to it. I can't remember what now, but as a result, probably no.
Okay. So yes, then I think she says, I do not.
Okay. Then I say, then you shall have to hold on tight. Bring a rope. And since basically we're still in Sikari's regret anyway, I think on the way out, I'll find Ahri.
Okay.
Who is doing
the
what?
Garage.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'd have to go to you anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. I go up to you, and then I say, I go now to hunt down Damnou everybody, who I am sure has witnessed something of interest to what has become of Perfidelity Evergreen, and I would have answers.
Indeed. And I imagine you have roped Disco Gilgamesh into your quest as well.
Disco Gilgamesh will rope herself onto me.
I see. When I gave Iskandric a task, she ruthlessly murdered a man, and I thought to myself, I must use better judgment when I ask others to do work for me. Seeing this garage, perhaps instead I must stop delegating altogether. I can only ask you not to treat Damnou Gregory as you treated this garage.
I think Terminator kind of like inclines her head to acknowledge that this is a request and it has been heard. But before she leaves, she will simply say, This must be arranged before I go to Polomark's fortress to see the duel between Ashur-Dan and Smith 12 Bullets. You shall also be there, shall you not?
Unfortunately, much as I would like to remain away, far away from such things, yes, I shall indeed be there.
Then I shall see you, soon or sooner. There is a doctor who demands passage to Polomark's fortress. I promised this doctor that I would provide passage, but much has come up since then. Will you honor my obligation in my stead?
Is this Minotaur Knight asking me this? For if it is, then I will take this obligation seriously. But if it is as a customer, that is a different matter.
I only ever speak to you in my role as knight.
Very well. It shall be arranged.
Very good. Also, Holly.
Yes?
I wanted to, take a little souvenir or two from the stash of weapons. What can I get?
Okay, from which stash of weapons? Sorry? The stash of the screw tapes stash?
Yes.
Yeah? I'm not so familiar with the weapons in this game yet.
Should I just pick 2 weapons that I want?
Where is there a full list of weapons in this game somewhere?
No, but I was just thinking of like just grabbing 2 weapons from the volatile list that I don't have.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and do that then.
Cool. Get a handy weapon and what's serious weapon?
We do have a list of weapons. It's on the reference sheet.
Which page?
Reference
Oh,
sheet.
the reference sheet. Okay.
R75. There's would they be common or would they be dangerous and distinctive? Because those two are, I think, important. I imagine there's probably no Molotovs left, right?
Let me take a look. Just for funsies. I don't mind you picking stuff off the list, but maybe there's something here that stands out as being particular. No, just pick any two. I don't have anything.
Sure, I'll pick from my list.
I feel like there's nothing to be gained from restricting you here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we spent quite a lot of time on this guy. He's an arms dealer. I'm just going to pick two weapons that I want.
Exactly.
Yes, and then we move forward, I guess. Now, I do have a tracking move. Should we just do that to a light time or what?
Sure.
Okay.
Since you have a tracking move, why not?
Nice. Hunter. When you're hunting, tracking, fleeing, or standing off with an enemy, roll plus aggro. So let's just go with that, and then we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
+2. Oh, that's also an 11.
3 questions then.
Mm-hmm.
Your quarry is Damnou specifically here.
Yes,
so,
because
that's interesting.
So let's move on to the meta. The person I actually care about is the courier, whom I don't know exists. All I know about is Damnou. Now, at the further meta level, there's no actual reason for Terminator to be pursuing Damnou. I'm just having her do this so that I can actually encounter the courier. Yeah. Right.
Makes sense.
So
and it makes sense. You know that Damnou knows some things, so it makes sense to pursue Damnou in that sense. So
yeah, it's not completely out of the blue, but it's largely so that I can meet the courier. But I am tracking Damnou. So I think the reasonable question is, where would it go for the advantage in an encounter, and how do I know?
So Damnou is, you know Damnou pretty well. So I think how you know is, this is your former squire.
Mm-hmm.
And where it would go for advantage in a hunt such as this is... Okay, I think a thing you know about Damnou is... So Damnou is not a gear cutter like Perfidelity. Not so good with the equipment and with the stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think Damnou is very good at navigating the valley. And one of the best ways to navigate the valley is to follow the train tracks. So there's no rail mall around right now. You can't just take a train ride, but you can still use the tracks as something to follow, and they are a constant. So if Damnou were pursuing something in like a general direction, she would stick to the tracks.
Okay. And how close is she?
This is one of the questions?
Yes.
Yeah. She must be quite close, I think. I think that there are no vehicles stolen or missing or anything from nearby when you did your investigation, so this must have happened on foot. And so probably quite hurriedly on foot. And, there is a bit of a head start, but not further away than what an athletic and motivated person could accomplish in a couple of hours. That's the distance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which can still be far, but, not that far.
Yeah, so I think we should picture like Terminator on Matthew Mark IV with Disco Gilgamesh lashed to her with a rope. And I think them stopping every now and then to look at these tracks, like these boot tracks out of town, right? Mm-hmm. And this is still in the Cloud Bazaar area, so this is actually rocky terrain, right? It's not very convenient, right? As I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And I think this isn't one of the questions, but like looking at it, I can tell that there's like 2 sets of footprints, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now the question here is that I can ask is it motivated right now by pain, fear, hunger, or instinct? And the fictional positioning or the specific version of this question that I'm asking is kind of like, looking at these 2 tracks, what sort of relationship can I make out between the pursuer and the pursued?
Mm-hmm. I think Damnou is motivated by fear, in that Damnou is not pursuing at full pace this mysterious missing entity. Damnou is pursuing quite carefully and at a distance. So I think in that sense there is a motivation of fear, right? whatever Damnou is following, Damnou is afraid of, or at least very, very careful around, which is unusual because Damnou is a badass.
Yeah. And now this is not one of the questions, but I think I should just ask. Is this the same boots that Perfidelity wears?
I will forward this question to Perfidelity. Is it?
Yeah, down to I think there is a particular pattern of nails that Perfidelity has hammered into her boots, and the pattern is, I think it's not the same, but it rhymes.
Nice.
There is a pattern to the boot print.
Okay, that's fucky wucky. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
so Damnou is pursuing someone wearing very similar boots to Perfidelity. And Damnou is also afraid of them.
Well, let's just keep pursuing then. Just to see what happens afterwards.
Yeah.
Once I get to where I need to go.
Yeah, so you follow the tracks on Matthew Mark IV, aiming to catch up. And I think what happens is that you see the tracks go ahead, and, you know, the valley's weird, especially outside of safe areas. It's very rocky here. It's very barren. But it happens on occasion that the trains enter a tunnel.
Right.
And that is precisely what happens. And so do you blaze into this tunnel on Matthew Mark IV at full speed, or do you like stop and like sneak inside it? I think you can tell basically that inside this tunnel something is happening, right? So it's not, you are quite sure you're not just passing through this tunnel. You can hear echoes of movement and such from inside.
Then of course the reasonable thing to do is to shut off Matthew Mark IV and kind of like quietly gesture to Skigglomers that we should approach cautiously.
Okay, so you are approaching by stealth. I mean, you know, there is also room for you to just surprise them by blazing inside before they can react, but that's not what you choose to do. Very cool.
Yeah, I would if I knew what the hell they were and what's going on. I want to get a feel for it. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think you get inside, and I think the vibe then is that up ahead you see a person. Actually, Minotaur, you have good instincts, so I think you get a sense of what's going. This is a pursuit that has happened on foot and drawn out over time, and Damnou has been catching up. So Damnou is here, hiding in the dark, and you can find her with some difficulty because she didn't bring a light source, or if she did, she doesn't have it turned on. But she is somewhere in the dark, hiding. The person ahead, however, does have a light source, and you see a silhouette remarkably like Perfidelity Evergreen, whose light source is pointing away. So you're coming from behind the not Perfidelity. And so when you come from behind someone who's holding a flashlight, like you can see the outline of them, but you can't make out very much else, right? When the flashlight is pointed away. So.
Yeah, and they are not reacting to my approach yet.
No, you are sneaking. This is successful. Damnou is even sneakier than you, but you're still some distance away, right? This is a long, straight tunnel, so you can see a person carrying a flashlight from quite far away before they necessarily hear you if you're trying to approach by stealth.
Yeah. Then I think the thing to do is to, because I know that something really strange is happening here. I know that I have the advantage that I can just drop this person right here, right now.
Yes.
But I need to understand what the hell's going on. So I'm going to announce my presence by turning on my own flashlight, which I think is, I think probably like I have one that kind of clip to my coat. So I think like it's sort of like pointing chest forward. I just switch that on and I flash it at this person.
Yeah. And the courier, which it is, turns around. And the courier is, to rehash everyone's memories here. A foreboding person that Perfidelity sees in her dreams. A liaison between Iskandric and other raiders of the valley. The courier is a person who has traveled in and out of the valley quite a lot, but Perfidelity is only ever seen in dreams. And what you see, Minotaur, is a person who looks an awful lot like Perfidelity, and yet it's uncanny valley Perfidelity. There is something there that is just wrong. And Perfidelity and Minotaur each tell me one detail that it is. One detail that is almost but not quite Perfidelity Evergreen.
Salty, go first.
Yeah. That in the dark, you can still make out this person, this woman, has dirt smeared across her face like freckles, and you know that Perfidelity would never allow her face to get so dirty. She hates being unclean, hates being filthy.
Yeah. And I think meanwhile, this person has a smile, a wolfish sort of smile, which, and grins broadly.
Mm-hmm.
Imagining Perfidelity as someone who doesn't smile a lot and is more like a closed mouth smiler.
Yes. And so there's a grin, there is this dirt across the face, and here is the final detail I will add, Minotaur.
Mhm.
When you dream of Perfidelity, she looks like this for some reason.
Mm.
As sometimes things are different when you dream about them, right? And it's not just once, like recurringly in your dreams. Perfidelity is just a little weird, which one doesn't normally think about because such as dreams, sometimes you don't remember a person's face exactly, but this is what you realize.
Mm. Then this person is staring me right in the eye.
Yeah, turning around, I think in surprise, but there is that grin there nonetheless. And you stand there just pointing torches at each other from quite some distance apart still, but you know.
I would like to hold it together under stress, if I may.
Yes, that sounds perfect. So roll
And
with cool.
yeah, and of course, like we can cut away whenever. You just let me know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a 7.
Okay. So, you flinch, hesitate, waver, or stall. Ask KMC what it costs you. You might suffer harm. I think you hold it. Okay, pick one. Either you act rashly or Disco Gilgamesh does. Because Disco Gilgamesh is still here with you. So I'm basically telling you, you can try to hold it together under stress, but then Disco Gilgamesh will do something. Or you can do something now and take rash action without considering it further, and then Disco Gilgamesh will not have time.
I think the way this makes sense is that for once, Minotaur is just kind of frozen in shock, unsure what to do. Whereas I guess Disco Gilgamesh, for whatever reason, is more like, "Aha, got you."
Very
Right.
good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I think Disco Gilgamesh like rushes forth beside you, wearing this like long frayed cloak of old cut up tarpaulin, and raises I think raises a weapon. Yeah. Rushes forward, not with the intent to kill, but with the intent to incapacitate. And I think it's kind of a weird weapon. Maybe it's some kind of, it's a harpoon gun with the intent to harpoon this person and keep them from running away. So there's like a long rope attached to a barbed arrow.
Oh, can I do something? Can I do something funky?
Yeah.
I think, so I'm in shock. I'm seeing someone. I don't know this is the courier. Like, I don't think that's that name. But this is someone who looks like Perfidelity. Someone who looks like Perfidelity in my dreams. Disco Gilgamesh, someone I barely know, has just rushed forward and is raising a weapon at her.
Yeah.
I think Disco Gilgamesh is standing next to me.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to shoot Disco Gilgamesh in the head.
Okay. We will see how that resolves, but I think now is a perfect time to pivot to Ahri.
Okay. Take a bullet off.
Ahri, you have been tending to the regret and to I mean, you have a lot of repairs to do and so forth, but you still have a rather wealthy party present that you have just made a trade deal with. And so, what do we see Ahri doing as after Minotaur leaves?
Unfortunately, Disco Gilgamesh has gone off with her, which means either Damnou or Disco is probably going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe both. It's not clear. And that's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
This fire thing is so like something like this has not happened in a while. Obviously, like in the world that we live in, sometimes shit happens, but like this is like it's really pissing me off.
Yeah.
And so actually maybe until my best employee 912s comes in is like, you need to stop, this is not helping. I'm just gonna be like, everybody get out, I'm gonna clean up the garage myself, which is
okay.
And it's not gonna work. Like you can't clean up like burnt up space on your own with like a dishcloth, which is what appears to be happening, right?
Yeah. So you're attempting to do that.
Yeah. So this is me saying I am not well.
Yeah. So we see Ahri trying to like clean up the fire. I mean, you know, it's a fire that's mostly done cosmetic damage. I don't think it's burned down a load-bearing wall, but it's definitely like
sure, but like
scorched
it looks
a lot of
like
things,
shit.
burned a lot of things. It looks like shit.
Yeah.
So it's more of a cleanup than a repair job, although there's definitely some repairing to be done as well.
Yeah.
And I think you do this a little while.
Yeah.
And then I think the door to the garage from the shop opens, and entirely to your surprise, it is the silver-haired, soft-eyed, jet-lag Pistachio.
Oh.
Who you haven't spoken with directly. You've only spoken with Vibrant Best Regards. But
exactly.
Jetlag looks in. You're aware, of course, that this is the vice presidential candidate, vice president in waiting. Yeah. And he says quite softly, like, I'm sorry, may I interrupt for a moment? I thought perhaps you might need help.
I think like you see Ahri like for a second like almost snap. And then she reminds herself that like this is Jetlag who is going to be vice president. And then a second after that, but she's like, also this is someone like who I don't like, I mean, has known me for so long, in fact, like has known such a different version of me that like maybe if he sees me as like as this, it's not so much of a problem. So instead I'll just say nothing to shut the door behind you.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
And he comes in, and what he is carrying, you realize, and who knows how he got this, but he carries buckets of whitewash and paint.
Oh my god. How did he get this?
Yeah. And so he closes the door behind him, and he like has a bucket in each hand, like a pail, like old and repurposed ones. I think they are buckets originally meant for paint, but like the labels on them indicate that they're like bright magenta paint or something, and that's absolutely not what's in them. It's just when the buckets were manufactured a long time ago, people have reused them a lot since.
Yeah, they used to be chairs for a bit.
So he closes the door behind him, he hauls them in, and he goes, this sort of fire, there's no point, this sort of scorching, there's no point in trying to wash it off. You wash out the best you can, and then you just paint over it. I got brushes.
Right. Why? I mean, not that. Why are you doing this?
Yeah. Okay, you just ask.
Yeah, I mean, I was just like, and again, with most other people, I am so like, even with Minotaur, I was like, I'm asking, and then whatever happens will happen because I know that telling is not gonna work, right? But like, it seems like Jetlag is somebody that I know very different, know very differently, and he knows me very differently, right?
Yeah.
Maybe this was even before I crafted this like there's a difference between like work and home, right?
Yeah.
So probably like she's even now like there's some like fuzzing of that line as well.
Yeah. Jetlag gives a little laugh and says, "Why? Because, well, because I'm interested in you and want to catch up, I guess. And also because I can." And he says this entirely as a flex. Like, Jetlag is
Sure.
very well connected. He can get his hands on
Yeah.
really strange things.
Yeah. And I'll say, normally when someone's trying to help me, it's because they want something from me.
Well,
That
maybe
what's
I do.
happening?
I think Jetlag looks you over and goes, "Maybe I do, but it seems you were faster than me. You already established a trade agreement with one of my close lovers."
I mean, sometimes the job is wheeling and dealing, and sometimes the job is trying to get somebody who has burnt your garage down to not kill your best employee.
Yeah. I can't say I'm familiar with that exact scenario. He says, like,
No, I
dipping a
suppose not.
brush and
Yeah.
beginning to paint over where you have already cleaned, so
Yeah.
that it's like ready to paint over. But he goes, "But I have a close enough experience. You have become a bit of an enigma since settling down here. You cut yourself off from everything and everyone. I thought this was perhaps my only chance to get a word with you alone."
Well, you know, when I first came here, when I first crossed into the valley, and it's kind of difficult even to remember how exactly I did that. Some things don't survive, and then some things, I somehow I knew that being the same person everywhere, having a core truth about you that you carried around with you, and that was who you really were. Not being able to change, but also not letting people know what is important to you. I knew that it was not something I could do. It was not. And then I just enacted what I knew to be true.
I suppose it makes sense. It keeps you safe. But I can't help but notice, with the arms dealers gone, you don't seem to have anyone to keep you safe anymore. Am I right?
Yeah. No. My security's run off, and the guy who turned up and said he was going to be my security got murdered. You know, when I decided I wasn't going to wield a weapon, that was not going to be who I was at work when dealing with people, because I know what that makes you. It makes you someone who always knows that there is a weapon that you can wield.
It's a good practice.
Yeah.
Jetlag says, continuing to like paint the wall.
No, it is. The people who live like that and who are good at it, they make things happen. The world changes around them. They stand up for what they believe in.
Yeah, and you and I, we're the sort of people that things just happen to. Most of the time.
Hey now. Sometimes nothing happens at all. That's the kind of day I want to cultivate. When things just keep on keeping on. And
yes. Yes,
Ahri,
that was the old vice president's philosophy, he says.
Yeah.
Go on.
Do you know why this place is called Sikari's Regret?
I don't, actually. Didn't think to ask.
I was in a room with her once. I wasn't anybody then. I was just someone who'd happened to be in a fight and then happened to be patched up, and she was walking through and we exchanged a few words. And all I could think was, this is someone who doesn't have time to regret anything. Because there's always something next. If I am running any kind of place, it is a place where someone can have a drink and think about their past without feeling that they have somewhere else to be, or that I will ask them to spill their guts to me over 3, 4, 9 drinks. Because I don't think Sikari and the kind of people who become Sikari, you know what I mean? Not really, but the kind of people who become knight presidents. They don't have that kind of time. And then, of course, Next Door opened up, and then he named his bar just to be funny, and it is funny. But I wonder whether Sikari would be able to come in and sit here and genuinely regret something. I wonder whether she would offer to, help me paint a wall.
I suppose she isn't the sort of person to reflect. No, not on the past.
No.
Maybe not even on the future. I am, though. I've been thinking about the past, our past.
You remember it?
Less and less recently. I don't know why.
It's not something that I realized was happening until I saw you, I think. And suddenly, it was the same feeling. There was an emotion, but tied to nothing. Tied to vague impressions of something that I knew should have been there. That's when I knew that leaving was never on the cards for me, because if I left, what would I even do? Where would I go? The person I was when I came doesn't exist, and the person I am now can only exist here.
Yes. You're right that I had ulterior motives in coming here. I would like to remember. I would like to do it with you, he says. And he looks into your eyes, and this is a person who has seduced people before. And while he's being truthful, there is also something productive in there with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think that trying to hold myself together under stress is something that might be happening here?
Yeah, I think it might be. I
feel like this may be an act under fire.
Yeah, go for it. I think that's an interesting way to spin it.
Yeah, because I think what's happening is, like me, Jetlag does understand that offering someone a helping hand at the right moment and then making an offer.
Yeah.
He's not even being false. He's actually being completely earnest, which is why it's working.
Yes.
Right? So, just to literally hold myself together in this place. If I said I was jet lagged, would you hold you against me?
Uh-huh. Yes. Okay, let's see this roll.
Yeah. The 7. So I flinch,
Uh-huh.
hesitate, waver, or stall. Yeah, I'm wavering.
Yeah.
Like you can see that it is tempting, and part of the reason that it's tempting is that Ahri is meaningfully reconsidering the decisions that have led her here. Because how long are you going to remain in stasis because you think that's better than risking something? And how long are you going to bend because it is easier than risking breaking?
Yeah. I think so. What it will cost you here, I think, and I think this is interesting, is you realize that your memories are slipping, and that, yeah, I'll just establish a thing to be true, I think, which we sort of already thought was true, but we weren't certain about it, which is, I think, jet lag pistachio is the only link to your past.
Yes, sure.
There is nothing else that ties you to your life before the valley.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But what do you do?
Yeah, and I think as he says with you, I will put my brush down, look at him, and kiss him.
Okay.
And it's it's not like soft and pleasant, right? Like it's like desperate in a way.
Yeah.
Because it's exactly like it's vulnerability more than anything, right? Like he thought he was being sexy, but really what he's being is kind. And that's really, and like Ahri doesn't necessarily have, in this place especially, a different way of accepting kindness, I guess.
So I will ask you here, do you think that this is a fade to black and trigger your sex move kind of situation?
Yeah, I think so. I think what'll happen, and like what is somewhat interesting to me also is like just the image of this in a way very domestic scene, right? They're like doing some DIY, right? Like they're gonna get some paint on themselves. Many years ago I saw David Tennant and Catherine Tate in Much Ado About Nothing. And it was one of the the great physical comedy of that was that like in the play they're hiding behind a wall or something, right? Or they're like hiding behind some bushes while they are both hearing their friends talk about the other one being in love with them. But I remember seeing this wall, and it's like under construction painting, and David Tennant had this incredible thing where he was like, he couldn't believe it, and he didn't see that like his hands had been coated in paint, and he would just do the thing where you would like run your hands like on your face and be like, what am I hearing? And the audience fully died, right?
Yeah.
And like that's the effect he was going for, but like it was incredible. And I think like there is something about that which I like I'm envisioning here in like the Fades to Black, which is it's kind of funny. It's kind of like slapstick. And the reason is that like we're the audience watching it, not like for the people involved, it's not that at all, right?
Yeah.
And this is a very different scenario than Benedict and Beatrice anyway, but you know what I mean.
Okay, so yes, I do. So 2 things happen here. Your sex move triggers, but I don't think your Maestro D sex move does anything special in this situation.
Yeah. It's fine.
The other thing that I will offer you here is that you are connecting with your past, with a person from your past. You may open your brain if you would like.
Yeah, I mean, I would not. Ahri would not like, but I think in this case, it is appropriate.
Very good.
And I have -1.
Hmm.
I rolled an 8.
Okay. So you get confusing and alarming visions.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, this sounds correct. This is the
Uh-huh.
best roll in this situation.
So you remember a lot of your past with Jet Like Pistachio, and perhaps you have done this before. Perhaps your relationship was not just a youth friendship. There are many
Sure.
images coming back to in a jumble, and you can tell me more about some of them now or later if you wish. But I think there's one thing that stands out as confusing and alarming, and it is that there was a place before the valley. There was like a village. You don't recall its name,
Sure.
but there was some sort of community out there in the fog wherein many things were lost. And I think the confusing and alarming vision you get is that place has been wiped from existence by Kevan Karan.
The best.
Right.
There is a reason why Jet Like Pistachio is your only link to the past, and it's because literally everyone else from your past has been undone,
has gone,
and deleted.
Truly. Do I see the Kagan's face?
Yes, I think that is part of the confusing and alarming visions. You see a horrifying tattooed face.
Yeah,
like
I don't know who this person is necessarily, but I feel deep in my soul that this, 100%. This is, I think what it is, and I don't know if Jetlag's going to stick around for this, but I think, I'm sleeping after, right? Like, I'm taking a nap because also I'm exhausted, and I'm having terrible visions as I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
And I'm not really even sleeping. I'm only drowsing, and it's awful anyway, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Very
and
good.
I think here we cut away from your scene and
very reasonable.
take it back to Iskandric and Perfidelity, probably. After the operation. And so I think what the vibe is here, what I want to set up in Perfidelity, you can say if you have a different image in mind. But the image I'm imagining cutting to is like you have this spider in some sort of like glass jar under all of your equipment, because you did maintain a link. So you have like a glass jar, you have some sort of instrument pointed at it that it can connect to it. And the two of you are like standing there. Iskandric in quite bad shape, having lost some blood, having, the operation did not go smoothly. But you are awake because you're tough and gritty. You can also see this if you wish. But the focus immediately is like on Perfidelity. And I would like to ask, having this thing hooked up to all your equipment, is there anything you would like to do? Or do you leave it there and prioritize something else?
I think it's Iskandric in front of it. Because Perfidelity is going to instead be outside. I think maybe it's a chamber or two away, and it's starting to get dark now. Outside, night is starting to fall, and the stars are beginning to shine. And I have an observatory, telescopes, instruments for measuring the stars and the weather, ancient books and documents.
Yes.
And I think what is happening here is that Perfidelity is looking into the sky, and she knows Ashadan will be coming to Polemarch's fortress. She knows that she wishes to challenge and duel him, and so she needs her own satellite star armor. And I would like to, maybe this is opening my brain, but I would like to track the location of the star satellite constellation Tigrides.
Okay. And your plan is to find the fallen satellite? Or just so I understand the long-term purpose?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You can track the satellite constellations and find out about the fallen star thing satellite. Yes, absolutely. I think it is opening your brain. Yeah, I can't see it being any other sort of move here. You are also using your equipment though, so I think there will be fictional positioning here in that this will, be more precise than opening your brain normally is, because you have all of this cool stuff.
Let's go. Well, I needed that.
It's a miss.
Yes.
Oh, spectacular. So, I think as you... Yeah. I think this is the funniest possible outcome of this, actually. You look through the telescope and you gather that, like, yeah, this constellation, it was here. There should have been a satellite that fell from it. According to my books and all, there was a satellite here. It is no longer here. I can track with my books and so forth exactly when and where it fell. And it fell just like east of the valley, on the way out from Polemarch's fortress, just where Ashurdan went on a mysterious expedition into the fog. Right there, actually. So that's probably why he went. He probably already has it.
Bastard. Yeah. Okay. And Perfidelity turns and I think allows herself, just checking quickly to make sure Iskandric is not within eye's view.
I can look the other way.
Yeah, there is, I think, this moment of, I think, rage, irritation of just, I have made all of these plans and for what? Fate to get into my path. And she turns, calls back, places that mask of cool calm. Lady Iskandric, have you gleaned what you need from your parasite? Are we ready to leave?
Well, so to clarify, the idea is to put this back into Iskandric at some point, right? But insulated? Or have we decided that we'll just keep it hooked to this machine and just access the memories or whatever we need from here?
I gave you an opening to do it whichever way you like, right? So right now it's hooked up to all of Perfidelity's machines, but it can be put back in and it will still be isolated. The isolation effect doesn't go away.
Okay, cool.
So it's up to you.
I would like to be able to consult Cazador Sakari's memories. Like, that's the thing, right? Iskandric wants the memories, but not not them to take over. Essentially.
Yeah. Okay, so I will frame it like this. If you choose to reinstall this inside you, and we don't have to role play out that scene in detail, but if that's where you want to go with this, I think that will give you a custom move that can go wrong. Like on a miss, bad Cazador Sakari shaped things still happen to you. But it's a move in the sense that if you roll a 10 plus on the other hand, then you can just access the knowledge database without issue. So I'll figure out exactly how that move looks, but I think mechanically that's how I will handle it if you want to return it in an isolated form.
Wouldn't that essentially be the move that Salty suggested?
Which one? Sorry?
Salty suggested
the Undaunted move, which is called Inheritor.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you're right. This move already exists. I don't know why I thought I would need to make a custom move. But yes, that is true.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, that's the... that was the idea here, right? To essentially have Perfidelity install this move in the on Iskandric. Yeah. So since that was the idea,
you're right. For some reason, my brain thought that I had this idea when it's your idea. I apologize. Yes, this is an idea that was told to me and that I thought hadn't been discussed, but I had just thought about.
It was revealed to you in a dream. It was revealed to you in a dream.
Exactly. It was revealed to me in a dream. Yes. Carry on.
Exactly. Okay, yeah, okay. So
rewinding. Yes, what you plan to do is what indeed will happen if you install it back into you. Yes.
Correct. So that is in fact what will happen is Iskandric will then install the Cazador Sakari firmware, as it were.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think...
So I imagine, just for a bit of cool detail here, you can tell me if this doesn't make sense, but I think a cool way to handle this, how it's been done, is that you now have some sort of port to insert it into. Right?
Yeah.
So it's not just, it's not you stick it back into your flesh with surgery. It now has a place where it can slot into your body.
Very cool. Yes, I have Cazador Sakari on a USB stick.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So I think this also explains why Perfidelity doesn't need to do another surgical operation. Like you can take this thing out of the jar and just put it in the USB slot in your body, and it just merges with you.
They don't call them memory cards for nothing.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. I think we don't have to Perfidelity in a hurry, and we can have this conversation on the move. But yeah, Iskandric would like to ask Cassador Sakari some questions. And so I think we'll just do. So this isn't me asking it what I should do. This is me just trying to get a bit of history. So I think read a person.
Okay, so you're not using the inheritor move, you're reading a person. That's fair.
Right? Like, yeah, I mean, the idea I think is like I'm not asking for advice on what to do. I just want to know what happened to Cassador Sakari. Like,
Yeah.
how did it come to this?
That might be open your brain.
True. I mean, it comes down to the same thing for me. I have one sharp, one weird.
Yeah, I think it sounds more like open your brain because it sounds less like you're trying to find out things about Cassador Sakari and more like you're trying to get a specific piece of information, right?
Yeah, okay, well, everything has worked out exactly because that means once I roll this, that I can mark XP, which would then give me an improvement, which would then give me the move that we planned for me to get.
Okay, very good.
All according to plan.
Yes. Okay, so what exactly is your question before you roll?
The question what I want to know is I think, like, confirm my suspicion is that Cassador Sakari is the personification of the memory of this valley. That's Iskandric's hypothesis.
Okay.
And if that's true, how did it fracture? Like, what caused?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So you can make the move.
Would you like me to back your play here?
Yes, please.
And I think it looks like, I suppose hooking you up. It's putting it back in the port, and I think it's like this very delicate situation of wires and tendrils, like underneath. Kind of like a harness underneath your shirt and clothes.
Nice. Okay, yeah. So
yes,
the play, and then I'll roll.
Fabs. Yeah. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully better. Full. Yeah, that's a 12.
Okay.
Know you well.
So, do you want to give a +1 or do you want to give some other benefit here?
I wonder if it's interesting if you get to ask another question.
Yeah, I can fuck with it.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I've got an 8 on opening my brain, which means I get confusing and alarming visions, is it?
Yep. But you get 2 of them, so you will still get a second question. Okay, you sort of asked 2 questions here, so I will start with giving you the answer to one of them. Are you more interested in what is the nature of Cassador Sakari, or what caused Cassador Sakari to break?
I think I'm more interested in what caused Cassador Sakari to break, because that might clue me into how to break Kaivan Kakan.
Yes. All right. So, I think we never figured out, we never saw what happened that caused Cassador Sakari to fall from the tower, right? And so I think you have a vision of Cassador Sakari very high up, doing, I think, what Perfidelity was just doing, which is studying the stars, but not from a proper observatory, just like very high up in the tower with like maybe like a telescope, maybe just binoculars. Actually, I feel like that's more Cassador Sakari's vibe, like military binoculars, but studying the stars and like lowering the binoculars, looking out, and then hearing from behind her a voice. And it says quite simply, "Your services are no longer needed." In something that is kind of Perfidelity's voice, but not quite Perfidelity's voice. And then Cassador Sakari turns, and this is confusing and alarming visions. You don't see the courier fully, but there is a kick. There's just like a swift sending the president over the edge. And I think the confusing, alarming thing also is this should not have been possible. Like, no one should have been able to get up there. Right? This is back when the presidency was strong. The tower was like ironclad, the heart of a fortress, holy site, armed guards everywhere.
Right. Damn. Okay.
But you do get one other question, thanks to Perfidelity helping you.
I guess then it would be about the nature of Cassador Sicari and also the fact that Minotaur is Cassador Sicari.
Mm-hmm.
But Terminator saw Cassador Sicari fall.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe the real Cassador Sicari is the friends we made along the way.
Yeah, your services are no longer needed. I think your clue here lies in that. I think this is not a vision, but just a realization. Like, your services are no longer needed. The courier is old. The courier, whatever it is, once established the Order of Knights and now no longer needs them.
Nice. Very cool. And yeah. And a voice very similar to Perfidelity's, you say?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'll have questions for Perfidelity on the way to Polymar's fortress.
I think this is a good moment actually to cut back to Minotaur, having revealed this. I will point out one more thing for you, Perfidelity. Just, you know that Ashurdan has accessed the satellite first. This does not mean that Ashurdan has completely taken away the entire satellite. I think even on a miss, you still know that's where the satellite fell, and like one person alone can't just cart away the whole thing. At least not without people having noticed that. So it's not a completely lost cause. It's just that's what's been established. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair. I'm wondering then. Maybe it's a between sessions thing. Scavenging that.
Yeah. We shall see.
Yes.
But let us cut back to Minotaur. I thought a little bit about how to handle this, and I think Disco Gilgamesh does not see this coming, so I don't even think a roll is interesting. I think you can just straight up kill this person if that's what you want to do. However, I think if what you do is shoot Disco Gilgamesh and don't make some kind of a move here, like keep your cool to keep it together or whatever, you completely lose the initiative in the situation, because you're going to shoot someone, you're going to be distracted by that for a couple of moments, and then the courier that you are facing down will just get to act first.
Okay.
So it's up to you if you want to make some sort of move to prevent that. Otherwise, this just happens. You shoot Disco Gilgamesh and the courier does something.
So I think I raise my gun and I'm going to, and as I press the trigger, I get visions of death, as I must.
Okay, yeah.
Then
that's fair. That happens first anyway.
Visions of death is a miss today, which makes sense.
Okay, you take -1 throughout the battle. And that is that.
Yeah,
okay.
So I see visions of my own death. So how does that look, do you think?
Oh, that's quite easy. You, for a moment, get a sense of vertigo and see yourself falling from a great height.
Yeah, so I think I press the trigger, Disco Gilgamesh goes down, and I probably kind of like fall forward as well. Put my hands on the ground to steady myself. Yeah,
I think you're deep underground, so this makes no sense, but you suddenly are gripped with like a terrifying fear of and this sense of like vertigo and being about to fall. Yeah, so you grip the ground. Disco Gilgamesh just dies. That's how it goes. There's a gunshot. And I think, yeah, so you have your torch strapped to your chest.
Yes.
So you go down for a couple of moments, like resting, and I think the courier turns their flashlight off and disappears. Like, just vanishes in the dark, and you can look up through this like vertigo and disorientation, and I think you hear Damnou move quickly behind you. Damnou was hiding in the dark, is now running up towards the scene, like quickly, still stealthily, still trying to avoid notice, but going like, okay, if I'm gonna act, I'm gonna act now. So I think you hear, you hear a handful of things, and you will get to act again before anyone does something. You hear Damnou rushing up from behind you, you also hear a kind of screeching, strange electronic sound from where the courier stood, as of something being communicated. Like, I think you, Minotaur, would parse this as like the static screeching through a radio or something. We as viewers might recognize it as a dial-up modem noise. But some sort of connection is being made, some sort of message is going out, and something is being suddenly and violently altered.
Okay.
But I will give you a moment to act.
Yeah, so I think I'm still looking at the ground, and I feel Damnou Gravory coming up behind me. I realize it's her, right?
Yeah, you know. Like, you have warrior's instinct. You knew Damnou was hiding in the... Like, yeah, that can't be anyone else.
Yeah. I think this is a great moment to open my brain.
Okay. Go ahead.
What's happening, guys?
You want to understand what... Yeah, you want to understand what is going on. Very well.
It's just what's up. What's up, guys? Yeah, that's a 7.
Okay, you have confusing and alarming visions. Well, what has happened... I think you realize this then well ahead of time. You somehow hear this screeching electronic noise being called out by not Perfidelity, the courier, whatever we want to call her. You realize that she is getting a little bit out of the way, like stepping into a side tunnel or something in this closed rail tunnel. And then you realize a moment later why. This sound brings the rail maul. There's a train hurtling through the tunnel towards you.
No, we don't love that.
No. You have, because you realize this, you have a little time to react to it before you see the headlines and hear the screech of the train bearing down along. And yeah, what the hell? It's confusing and alarming visions. I won't give you more information than that.
Train's coming my way. While I'm having visions, while I'm trying to like get my bulk up, what does Damnou do?
Damnou rushes forward. I think Damnou rushes forward to actually grab you. And yeah, I think Damnou is very sensible. She doesn't like you is the thing, but she has seen you here. You had the thing lit up. She, I think, rushes up and it pains her, but she grabs you. And she goes, I don't know what that thing is doing, but we have to get out. And like tries to pull you to your feet to flee. And I think Damnou has healthy respect for the courier and a great deal of fear. She has no idea what's going on, but she's like, that's bad. I recognize that what just happened is bad. And so she's actually trying to get you to safety.
All right. I'm thinking through this. So I just got my advancements. May I take something?
Yes.
In this moment?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to share the one that I'm interested in. Salty and I had spoken for a while about like the things that I could take, and I had like different ideas. But I'm thinking this might be interesting. Here. Have a look.
Nice.
Yeah. You can confront the world's psychic maestro as though he was a person. You can also interrupt it. Okay. Yeah.
I feel like that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, sure.
Let me just take that first.
I love that both Minotaur and Lady Iskandric have taken Undaunted moves. They're just so fun. I think the baker's really cooked with the Undaunted.
Yep. So yeah, so +1 psi. So let me take where's psi? Okay, there's psi. Okay, so she wants to get me away, and I think like the train is a strange thing. The train is a real object, obviously. You know, I've been on it. It's a real train. I had the dinner service, pretty good dinner service. It's a real train.
Yeah.
It's also a weird train.
Yes.
What's happening with this modem? That's also strange. What's happening with everyone? The only part of what's been going on that's made sense is Damnou Gravory trying to get me to leave, and also me shooting Dishko Gilgamesh. Those were normal things to have happened.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to make things normal.
Okay.
I want things to be normal. I want to... Whatever the Psychic Maelstrom is doing here, you can tell me if it's the train, you can tell me if it's the modem, or well, I suppose they're connected.
Yeah.
I would like things to stop.
Okay. This sounds more like an interrupt than a confront. You're not threatening the world Psychic Maelstrom, you're just trying to stop what is happening from happening, right?
Let's see. So because I can in fact only confront it, I can't interrupt it. So let me see what confront.
Yeah, you can. You can do
You can,
both.
it says.
You can
You can
confront,
confront
and you can
or
also.
Oh, you can also interrupt.
And if you interrupt, you roll with aggro. So it's the same stat. It's just that on a confront, you threaten the thing, and then it chooses whether to accept your threat or not. Whereas on interrupt, you just get to act before it.
Yeah, I think then what happens is that Minotaur kind of like puts I think Minotaur kind of like puts her hand on Damnou's shoulder and kind of like levers herself up using Damnou, which isn't great for Damnou. I don't think Damnou's shoulders enjoy this experience.
No.
But it's less me treating her as a person and more like, yes, support.
Yeah.
And she kind of like, and then of course the chest light kind of like blazes out in the darkness. There's probably like the incoming light distant from the train. This horrible noise. And I think Terminator kind of like, the light kind of gets interrupted as the jacket opens, and Terminator yanks out her flamethrower and kind of like raises it up and yells out, "For the Order of the Worm, Lance Drucker!"
Is your plan to fight the train? Is that what's happening?
I'm trying to reassert my reality.
Okay.
My
Which is
reality is
simple and can be solved with fire.
Yes. So
this is my reality. Flamethrower is my reality.
Yeah.
Order of the Worm, that's my reality. I don't know about this thing, how we have been orchestrated to history to repeat endless cycles at the whim of something, at the personification of something that may or may not be history. You know how it is.
Yeah. Okay. So I will let you choose here. On a confront, you can threaten to fight this manifestation of the train. It can still defy you and take the consequences, but you will be able to do things to it because you have a flamethrower, you have a weapon pointed at it. It may not still work out great for you, but you can threaten it. Or if you interrupt it, you can, on a success, pick to be there first, in their way, or ready for it. So if you interrupt it, that basically just gives you a moment to act and to not be run over by the train. If you confront it, you may be able to inflict some sort of damage on it or the courier, but it may also end very badly for you. So confront is the much higher risk situation here. And I'm flagging that you may just instantly die being hit by a train if confront goes poorly. But you can
Damnou too, because I'm holding on to Damnou.
Yeah, that is probably a possibility. Yes.
Now let's interrupt the train.
Okay.
I've caused a lot of death recently. I don't mind dying, but you know how it is.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a 9. This is interrupt.
Yep. This is an interrupt. So you don't take a +1 to your next roll, but you are ready for it. And so what happens here, because this is a success, is that you can get out of the way of the train, because the train hurtling towards you is still a thing that's happening. But, and since you're insisting on reasserting your normality and this being entirely normal, I think what happens is the fire illuminates the area well enough that you can both see what's happening and somehow react in a timely fashion.
Okay.
Which is, the courier is getting on the train as it passes. This is not just an attempt to kill you, but also an attempt to get out via jumping onto the rail mall. And so, because you're interrupting the train, you can't stop the train. It's a train. That is not a thing that can happen. But you can get out of the way of it, and you may also attempt to get onto the train. Like, you get to act first, in a sense. The courier's plan to just get out of here is interrupted.
Okay.
So you don't automatically get onto the train, but you can get out of its way, and you can also attempt to jump onto a very quick-moving train.
Yeah, let's get on the train. I've played. I used to have a Sega. I've played plenty of like those like horizontal scrolling fight sequences on trains where you shoot a bunch of guys on trains.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
I assume it's something challenging to jump onto a train.
Yeah, it is. Like, the courier can do this because the courier is a badass, and so are you, but I think it's a roll. So...
You know what? I have asserted my normalcy. This miserable worm next to me used to call herself my squire. I think I'm going to yell out, "Grab hold of me!"
Okay. You're trying to get both yourself and Damnou onto the train. For the sake of the side scroller you just invoked, by the way, I think it makes sense that the courier is going to be several wagons up ahead of you, because it takes you a little while to react to this, right? The courier just jumps onto the first cart. You have to like get out of the way, shout this, measure out your jump a little bit. So you will still be on the same train, but a couple of wagons apart.
Event correctly.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. That's what I want. Also, point of order. The previous one should have been a +1, not a +2, because I have -1 ongoing in this fight. So bear that one in mind. So try something challenging. Jump on.
Yep.
Oh, that's also an 8. Okay.
Okay. So I will ask you what it will cost. I will tell you what it will cost you, and you may decide whether to go through with it or not. Okay. So you can like decide against this, which is why I should give you something, a strong enough incentive that you might want to opt out of it, which is difficult.
Yes.
This is a lot, and this is what you really want. Okay, yeah. I think here is what it will cost you. You're already on bad terms with Kid Gloves, and this train is sentient, and there is a debt owed. There are things. I think if you jump onto the train, it is unequivocally an invasion of the rail mall.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is a hostile action against the entire train. I think that's the heftiest cost I can come up with that makes sense.
You're kidding. This train's in league with the enemy.
Well, fair. So I think in order to do this, in order to really drive this home, I think like you jump on the train, but in the process you will like a couple of the people who like work on the train, you'll have to like grab them and forcefully hurl them off and like smash them against the wall, like do violence against them in the process.
Yeah. We have a montage where I jump in and I just start like hacking my way through. Maybe they haven't realized that I'm the enemy yet, but I have decided death to the enemy already.
Yeah. So you're bringing Damnou and you're killing a bunch of the train engineers.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if Damnou is down to clown for any of this, or it's just like, I'm in my happy place. I know what to do.
Yeah, but you just want Damnou to be on the train with you. Like you're I want to share this experience with you.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. So we see you like leap onto the train, like shove one of the engineers out of the way. I think the initial act of violence is just basically inevitable. It's like, in order to get onto the train, I need to shove this person off, so be it. So you do. And then the rest of them instinctively start to fight you because what the fuck? And the fight breaks out.
Yeah.
And I think we will... I think this is a new combat scene.
Okay.
Do you agree with that? It's sort of shifted quite a lot now. So I think you want to re-roll Visions of Death? Is it fair?
That makes sense to me.
Okay. Then roll a new Visions of Death, because there are now new NPCs involved, which is why it might be interesting.
Yeah, new people to have visions about. Okay, -1, because the previous one is still on.
Yeah.
Is the -1 still ongoing? Okay.
I think it is. You're chaining one fight scene into another.
Okay, so that was also a miss.
Okay, good. Well, so your -1 will be ongoing. You don't get to dictate what's happening. And I think the slight way it changes is that you realize that, like, oh yeah, dying from a high-speed impact can also happen from falling off a train as opposed from falling from a great height. You're just falling sideways. So I think you realize as you get on the train, like, shit, my vision that I will die of a fall was slightly wrong. I will die of a high-speed impact, and that just became way more likely. Yeah.
And I think I yell out, "Cazador Sicari, I am with you to the death!"
Nice.
Yeah. And I think this is a good moment actually to cut away. It's a short scene, but it's a powerful one. So yeah, you're side-scroller fighting your way through a train.
Yeah.
And, I think then we will cut back to Ahri. You have had these terrifying visions.
Yes.
I would really like to bring in like a more thorough angle for you to get in touch with the others here.
I mean, yeah, sure. I understand that my character is a bit of a homebody.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just thinking of if there's any reason for Perfidelity. Okay, before I frame
there is a
it,
reason.
Okay,
there is a reason. There's 100% a reason.
So,
if you'd
I
like
will
a
ask.
suggestion.
Yes, please go ahead. I was going to ask also if Perfidelity will just communicate with Ahri, possibly, but
Oh yeah, definitely that, because now the Maestre D is great at getting people what they want, right?
That appears to be the case.
I have something I want. It's outside of the valley. And I think maybe it comes in on Haxik's radio, because I want Haxik in the same room as you and Jetlag Pistachio. That is extremely funny to me.
Why are you doing this to me? Okay.
Fantastic. Okay,
Because
so
I
you're
love you,
radiant
and I know
Haxik.
you love Haxik. And it is Ashodan found something outside of the valley. Are you still ready?
Okay, so I think Ahri, the vibe here, I think from Jetlag, who does not have the same terrifying visions that you do. Maybe Jetlag also remembers, but you remembered more, I guess. The vibe here, I think, is that Jetlag has taken a little bit of care of you after, like, you fell asleep in the garage after everything that happened. And so I think, well, it was specifically requested that Jetlag is still in the scene, but I don't think Haxik like bursts in on you completely in flagrante, because I think Jetlag thinks ahead.
Yes, part of him.
So this is radioed in to Haxik, and you have set up a do not disturb, I'm busy cleaning my garage sign. But
truly, yes, yeah.
Since when has Haxik respected your do not disturb signs? So,
well, yes.
You snap awake from this vision of this horrible tattooed face and this person who has eaten your past, to see Haxik swagger into the room with, I think, Jetlag harmoniously painting the wall. You still having this white paint all over yourself. There's no hiding that something went down here. Haxik bursts in and just you snap out of the dream from one thing to another, and Haxik goes, special delivery, got a message for you. Got a message for... And then Haxik pauses and looks around and goes that's a surprise, I can't see Ahri. And I think it's funny here, just because I want to set this up, that maybe you're behind a couple of boxes, so you're lying down, which Haxik wasn't expecting. So they don't immediately see you, but you hear this special delivery coming in. Yeah.
And I, troubled as I am by my visions, blearily wake up and say, "Oh my God, what is it now?"
Yeah. And I think Haxik, I think it's interesting we have people in the scenes. So Haxik sets down the radio that you were behind, raises an eyebrow, goes "Why are you lying on the floor covered in paint? Oh well." Hasn't quite pieced it together yet, and speaks into the radio and just goes "Perfidelity Evergreen, say again."
I copy you, Haxik. Have you got in contact with Ahri?
Roger that. Ahri is right here. Say hello. And Haxik just holds down the mouth. Ahri.
Yeah. It's me. Why is this happening? Do you people it's always something. Yes, what is it? What do you need now? Fuck's sake.
Oh, is this not a good time for you?
No, your master set my garage on fire, so it's not a good time for me. And Damnou's gone somewhere, and then Tad Minotaur took Disco Gilgamesh to something about, I don't even know what it was about, but then they went. So now it's just tell me what you need, and then we will see what we can do.
No, I have the rather interesting information. If you're not in the space to receive it, I can pass it on to somebody else, but Ashodan found something outside of the valley. I know where it is. I know that he's not managed to get everything from it. It's a satellite. And I think satellite means something because these are what the knights used to forge their armor out of. I don't know if any have fallen since the fall of the knights. I would say they probably haven't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I will say Fallen, how do you know this?
I don't think you would like me to go into detail about how I calculated this and watched it for many, many moons.
Right.
Unless you would.
No, you're right. I was just wondering whether it was the kind of thing where you say, well, somebody told me. But if it's, maths, then I guess it's maths. I guess we're going to scavenge the satellites. Is that what we're here to discuss?
Yes.
Fantastic.
And I have news for you about other things that you might find exciting as well.
Oh, that's great.
And then, even better than that, there'll be transportation for you to the Polemarch's fortress.
Oh, will there? I suppose everyone's decided that I'm gonna go to this duel just because that's what I do, apparently. Fantastic.
Ahri, you need to get out. You need to stretch your legs. I worry about you locked up there.
Don't need you to mother me. You are 1,000 years too young to do this.
I'm not mothering you. It's just friendly concern.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You take good care of Damnou, and I shall take good care of you.
Indeed. Well, Damnou seems to be taking care of herself wherever she is. So good luck to her. There's nobody in. I don't know why I'm complaining. I will put together a crew, I suppose. Do you have any problem or concern working with Professor Fulminia?
Oh, the professor. And I think there's just this touch of reverence. Of course, it'd be an honor to work with him.
Yes, he spends most of his time researching the C-Note, but he knows some little about this. He'll be happy to help. I can drum up a couple more people. I cannot do anything for you on security. That will have to be someone else's job. And I suppose Haxic will come along because she doesn't know how to not poke her nose into things. Isn't that right, Haxic?
Roger, Roger. Haxic goes as you are speaking into the radio on the same side of you, which I think is very fun.
Yeah.
And I think this is taking place in the same room that Iskandric is in. And Perfidelity looks over to Iskandric and goes, I mean, your boys, would they like to earn some money, earn their keep at the Sakari's Regret again? Because, of course, they came along with you, right? Some of them did.
Yeah, they're still there. Do I trust my boys to do things without me? I mean, yeah. I mean, they need something to keep themselves busy. Otherwise, they're going to make problems for me in other ways, right? So Iskandric, Iskandric has learned something that is suspicious about Perfidelity, so I think she's mostly preoccupied with that. But she just gently nods, like, get them.
Yeah, and Lady Iskandric has said, intimated to me that The boys will be good security while you're gone. Is that amenable?
Very well. Suppose we have a choice. You better make clear that if I leave and come back and the place is burnt down even more, or there's blood in places there shouldn't be blood, or that the boys are both gambling on the fights and fighting in the fights, there's gonna be trouble.
Is Perfidelity relaying this back to Iskandric live?
Oh, I think you can. I think
You can
it
just hear
said
this, I think.
yeah,
Okay.
transmitting. You can hear it too.
I think Iskandric is absolutely on board with the there not being any blood where there shouldn't be blood, but betting on fights and participating on those fights like that. That comes with the territory. We absolutely are going to be betting on ourselves to make a killing.
I mean, I think, if you say this, I'm gonna just make a mental note to tell my bookie, do not let them fuck with you. And I think he's really professional, actually.
Yeah.
He's the one good employee I have who will not be pushed around. So I think I'm gonna trust him on this.
Okay. I mean, we could play this out where Iskandric is nodding along to no blood, no, and when she goes no betting on fights and being in those fights. Yeah. And grabs the what do you call the microphone part of the radio and is like I think this kind of is pretty intense and goes, oh hey now listen here, Ahri, you sicked a former knight on me when I was just out on a little drive. You owe me. We are betting on those fights and we are fighting the fights.
You didn't tell me she was in the room with you.
You didn't ask? Anyway.
Why would I presume?
Perfidelity just does the little bye-bye hand gesture to the radio. I need a shower.
Tree, by the way,
yes.
out of character.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense that Iskandric is still a bit angry at.
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So in that case,
I mean, it's exactly why I would have liked to know you were on the other side, because then I would have run my mouth.
Yeah. In that case, I think you're cool with Iskandric, yelling at Ahri for a bit.
Sure.
Over the phone. He goes, "Listen here, barkeep."
Damn.
Yeah.
Sure.
You might be good at making these little connections here and there and trying to play us off against each other, but I know none of that's gone according to plan. You're on your own. You've got no one there with you. It's my boys. It's one word from me, and what's left of Security's regret will be gone. So, if you need my help to look after your place, you don't get to call the shots.
Are you threatening me?
I am telling you what the situation is.
I think a subtle detail I would like to introduce here is that when Ahri says, "Are you threatening me?" then Jetlag, who has pretended not to listen this whole time, stops painting, puts away the brush in a bucket, and suddenly pays intense attention. No longer bothers to pretend like he hasn't been.
Yeah. Great. Yeah.
But please go on.
And I think, I think I will just say, I am a professional and I run a professional business, and it is unseemly for your boys to be in the fights and be betting on the fights. But if you're only betting on yourselves to win, that's a compromise I can make. But you won't be throwing fights to make money.
I mean, that's just insulting. Throwing fights? Come on.
Yeah, because I know you lot, and you'll arrange it so that the two of them are fighting against each other, and then one of them's just gonna fall like, oh, I don't know, thick as a brick.
Iskandric is not going to stand for this slander. If my boys fight each other, you know they're gonna fight each other for real. We never throw fights. We never back down. Yeah.
You know, I think that I wonder if there's a move here, but like, can I like? I guess if I read you, I can try and ask whether I believe you. Is that it?
Sure. If you want to.
Yeah, you
right?
can read a
Yeah.
person here.
Are you telling the truth? Yeah. Okay. I would like to read you just because I'm like, A, seems like a child situation, and B, yeah.
Roll to read. Go ahead.
I rolled a 7. I can ask one question, which is all I want to do. Are you telling the truth?
You may actually ask two. Because
on 2.
person
Okay,
gives you an extra one, but it doesn't give you a +1.
Yes. Okay.
So you can ask, are you telling the truth? But you may also ask something else. I'm just pointing out, you don't have to. But...
Yeah, good. Yeah. I'll ask the second question as well then, but this is the one that like I'm interested in.
Yeah, okay, I can tell you that one first, which is, you know, that Iskandric is absolutely telling the truth. Where, you know, they might be a pack of raiders and might not, you know, might have questionable morals, but they do have principles, which, you know, one of which we've seen is the gang as an entity must survive, and the members of this gang who follow those principles are looked after, while the others are, left to die in the dust. And one of these is like when we fight, like with the principle being that, like, you know, we take fights or like warfare very seriously. Like, you know, there is there is honor. Yeah.
Okay. In that case, the second question I have is, I think this is something that like Ahri is just like interested in with everyone, right? Like, what are you feeling? What's up with you, man?
Oh, well, I think Iskandric is kind of lost her temper a bit, hasn't she? Like, normally tries to play it a bit cool, but you know, I think you can. What you're feeling is what Iskandric is feeling.
We haven't chatted since you went off, right?
Yes.
So like, I guess what I'll do is I'll like, if I know you're telling the truth, I will like offer you an olive branch, right? I'll be like, fine, I apologize for impugning your sacred honor, haha.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen you in a while. I don't know what's going on, and you left in a bit of a hurry. Do you want to like fill me in?
Yeah. So to go into more details, I think what is the reason why Iskandric's on edge is because things have been kind of. She's been planning for something. She's been trying to find answers to get back at this Kayvan Kagan, who is now seemingly very close by because different PCs have been having visions of him, right? And she feels like she is at the same time close to an answer, right? How do I actually defeat him? Like, there are leads now, like things are moving fast. Like the adrenaline is up, right? That's why she's on edge. And like, so you can tell me how much of that you can pick up, but that's
right.
Like,
yeah. I mean, I think like, the broad mood is what I'm interested in because it gives me some insight into how to play it the next time I see you or the next time I meet you, right? And this is like a bit of my professionalism reasserting itself as well. And so I will say, I presume you were also going to be at this shindig at the fortress?
And I think that kind of takes her aback a little bit because, the shindig at the fortress, as you say, is of interest to me.
Well, it seems as if much will converge there, and it seems as if we will have to do business in the aftermath. So, if you want me to bring anything, now's a good time.
Ahri to bring anything? Has Ahri actually been down to the computer thing in her basement?
I do not know it exists.
You do not
No.
know it exists.
Damnou never gave Ahri the information before leaving.
Yeah.
Does Iskandric know it exists, being that she was briefly connected to it?
I don't think.
Sorry.
I mean, if you think it's interesting, maybe. I do think that you were briefly connected to like all of these terminals wherever they exist. So I don't know that you would be able to pinpoint a specific one under Sicarius Regret. But if you think it's interesting, I won't say no. I'm just pointing
Okay.
out you were connected to all of the terminals, right? So it's up to you whether you think you can pinpoint a single one of them. But maybe if you were curious for some reason, you could.
No, I think knowing about this, I would find it more interesting to know about it from the person hiding it, which is Perfidelity.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
that's probably more interesting, actually. In that case, I'm not really sure because Iskandric also hasn't had a word with Ahri since leaving several sessions ago. What can Ahri offer? Yeah, maybe Iskandric can turn the question around, bring something like, and I think maybe she'll even pose it as a bit of a challenge. Doesn't look like you've got much to bring at the moment.
If you need it, I'll find it. If you don't need it, then, I won't need to find it.
Can I over so I mean, out of character, I know the trigger that Ahri has seen Cayman Kakan's face and probably knows what the danger, right? But Iskandric doesn't know that, and I just want to I think Iskandric. What I want out of character is for Iskandric to know, have some kind of hook for this, mutual interest, right? So maybe opening. Yeah. I think
You can
it
always
doesn't
open
make
your
sense.
brain.
Yeah, I think maybe Iskandric is trying to open Ahri's brain to see if something resonates.
Yeah. Maybe
Alright.
I can try and help you here.
Yeah.
I can aid because I am I did try and read you. I'm trying to understand you, right? So I'm not good at psychic stuff, but this is the closest I'm gonna get to helping.
Okay, so you're assisting first. You roll your history with.
Yeah. Which is +3.
Yep. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
With Iskandric.
9.
9.
Okay.
So you do help out. It does cost you something. I will tell you what it costs you first, and then you can pick a benefit, whether it's just a +1 or something else. And what it costs you here is that succeed or fail, Iskandric, I think Iskandric is trying to figure out what your connection with Kevan is. Yeah?
Yeah.
And so I think success or fail here, Iskandric will know that you were one of Kevan's victims, kind of. Like, you got away, but you're...
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah,
I think
sure.
that's interesting for Iskandric to have a sense of, that you were actively victimized.
And I won't know necessarily that she's figured this out, because I don't want people to know this.
Mm-hmm.
I barely know it.
Oh, yeah, you barely know it.
Yeah.
Right.
But you can open your brain with a +1 or with some other benefit, if you prefer.
I wonder whether it's interesting for the benefits to be that whatever the role ends up being. I mean, I don't know if better effect is something that like
Yeah,
can work here.
You can introduce a second effect, like ask a second question is valid.
Yeah, maybe, or like when you open your brain, yeah, maybe just like another question seems good. Another question about something that Ahri might know about, just to make it like fictionally like interesting or whatever, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So you don't get a +1, but you do get 2 questions.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just roll and we'll see what that is. That was a 9. Very good. And yeah. So what do you think I see? Like I just get. I probably just see Keo and Kagan in your mind as well.
Yeah,
Right?
I think. Actually, I think it's interesting if this is connected to something else for Iskandric. So you have known Ahri for some time. You have had this. You've heard this voice, but I think something about what Ahri says here connects back to, like, you know that you have been victimized by Kevan Kagan, who has like messed
Multiple
with
times.
you. Yeah, multiple times. And I think you realize that at some point in your past lives, of which there have been a few, I think, I mean, Kavan rewrote you to serve him, right? So
Yeah.
I think you realize in a flash that at some point, as Kavan's modified weird ass slave or whatever, you actually attacked Ahiri's home.
Shit.
I think that's a cool, confusing, and alarming victim, and that's how you know Ahiri has been victimized, because you know you were part of it.
Oh shit. Okay. Cool.
Gaslight.
Oh,
You don't have a gate to keep. Well, you
Yeah.
do, but you're away from it. Gaslight.
Mhm.
Gaslight. Yeah. Okay. So before we move on, the other thing that I intentionally didn't detail was that so Iskandric did say that she did manage to keep some part of herself
Yeah.
safe from Kavan's meddling.
Yeah.
I didn't say what that was because
Yeah.
I haven't figured out how that was. I guess we'll figure it out. And yeah, and also I haven't said how Iskandric actually managed to get away.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get to there.
We'll fill those blanks
Right.
in. But if you think it makes sense with what you have in mind, that you were part of the attack on Ahiri's home,
I think it absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
Muy bien.
Shit. Okay, more Kavan Kagan victim solidarity, and okay, Iskandric then goes. I think she goes, "Look, I know what you know. You've seen him, right? In your visions, in your dreams."
The man. How do
Oh
you?
yeah.
What the fuck are you talking? How do you know about him?
Well, how I know about him is because compared to what he did to me, what he did to you might as well have been a little jaunt in the park.
Whatever he did to me, he did to everyone I ever knew. I'm not here to compare sins or pain. He's still out there?
And sure, my apologies for trying to downplay your pain because I know it's real. And I also know that you don't let something like that go. So I know that he is out there and I know that he's close. This valley is one of the few remaining places outside his influence, which he doesn't like very much, of course. So he'll come here to erase this place from history. And when he does try to do that, I am working on a little surprise for him. So what you can bring, you can tell me, but I need anything at all about the history of this place. I need to know what fractured the memory of this place. I need to know how to wield that as a weapon.
And I think, luckily for me, I have a friend in this room who is very incentivized to not let his potential vice presidency get ruined. And I have a frenemy in this room who Being a journalist probably does know quite a lot about the past.
Yeah, you have two people here who are very capable of helping you find out about the valley's past. That is true.
Yeah, I think then what I will say is, yes, I can do that actually. Quite easily, even. Do you prefer something written or an oral medium?
Oral would be fine. As soon as possible, please.
Great. When we next meet, you should be prepared for violence.
I'm always prepared for violence.
Very good.
Lovely.
And
I am the violence.
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah, indeed.
Okay. I think that is the scene then. Like the conversation wraps up there. So, Tar Minotaur, you have fought your way across the train, side-scroller style, and you arrive at a train where there's real opposition, which is where I want to pick it up. There's a new fight scene. You have like dispatched some of the engineers, and now I think there are like 4 or 5 small gangs worth, hefting various rifles, crowbars. One of them has a circular saw. On one of these like kind of open trains that you usually keep like logs and stuff on. I think the rail mall keeps like big cargo here that doesn't need to be protected. So like crates might be strapped down, or raw resources, like indeed logs, are strapped onto it. There's these big spikes coming up on the sides that hold things in place to sort of navigate it. There are these 4 guys in front of you, and then behind them are 3 things of interest. One of them is a big lever that is like an emergency brake for the train, for this fitted onto this heavy cargo cart, where the whole train can be stopped, although not without doing a lot of damage to it. It's there. From the same mechanism, you can also disconnect the back half of the train. So like it's possible to both pull the emergency brake and disconnect the back half and just stop all of this.
Mhm.
If people do that, they would effectively ditch you, so that's a challenge. But also if you break the train, that might help you. You would no longer be moving at extremely high speeds. And indeed, if you stop the train, you will no longer take your -1 for being afraid of falling, because there's no longer any risk of high-speed impacts.
Mhm.
The other thing of interest is the courier, who is hanging back, like probably on the next train over, but looking over your way, having like settled up here, being like surprised, I think, that you're still following. And the final thing of interest is a hugely armored, clad in like bits of rail and bits of train, with a heavy helmet, a monocle set into it, with another monocle that folds down over it as kind of a lens.
Jesus.
Having one heavy pistol in one hand that is like attached to the suit of armor, and in the other hand, swinging an enormous spiked chain, is one of the rail mall's protectors. Because kid gloves must, of course, have an elite, and this is Octothorpe Mason.
Mm.
My God, his name is Octothorpe Mason.
Yes.
How many numbers are on his armor?
What do you mean? How many numbers?
Just tell us how many. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many numbers?
Okay. Well, I suppose 8, because Octothorpe.
Okay.
This is. I don't know if this is the correct answer to this reference, but
Okay. Well, in that case, it's very clear what the numbers mean.
yeah, good.
Okay.
Great.
I will have to ask him.
Look, there was a request that there was a person named Mason.
Yeah.
So
And he's got numbers. He's got numbers that make sense.
yeah. Anyway, this guy is very dangerous, and so I will tell you straight up: when you fight him, if you take damage, you always lose your footing, no matter what you roll in the harm move. This is a special move.
Interesting. All right.
And so his 4 guys are like rushing forward towards you. Octothorpe is standing behind them, swinging the big chain around. Behind them is the courier, who is like, was sort of like trying to move forward in the train, but I think paused, looked over her shoulder, and went like, "Oh shit, Tar Minotaur's on the train. What?"
I love being on the train.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
And so this is what's happening.
Okay. So is Damnou still with me?
Yes, Damnou is behind you. Like, she doesn't like fighting alongside you, but she doesn't really have very much of a choice. Like, she is also on the train without a ticket, having participated in the murder of a lot of people. This is not a time to stop and explain. So Damnou has fallen back into the very unwilling role of your squire. But I think, interestingly, you have fought together before. And so she knows how to do it, right? She doesn't want to, but she is pretty well synced with you.
Right. So there's 4 people coming towards me, and this
4
is
people, Octothorpe behind them, who has a gun, so he can also just shoot you without having to hit you with a chain.
Okay. 4 people coming towards me.
So there's 1 small gang and 1 badass person.
Okay. So I think just to clear the air, as it were. I think I'm going to swing my arm. I'm going to pull out my. I forget which one it was. So let's just say left arm out of my sleeve, and I'm going to slam the blade thrower on the mount.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to launch a blade at these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that works and they disperse.
Yep. Well, you're doing battle with a small gang.
Yes.
So it's the do battle thing. So you aim to perhaps kill one of them, disperse the rest with a shot, something like this.
Well, I'm just firing it at them. Let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do battle. Wait. They didn't. Okay, yeah. So that's 8 and 3.
An 8 and a 3.
Okay,
and then
so
you assign 1 to offense and 1 to defense.
Yes, I mean, okay. On a miss, when you attack someone, you don't get anything.
That is correct. Yeah, you don't inflict harm, actually,
Yeah.
which is unique to that.
Yeah,
It isn't how it used to work, but yes, you do no harm if you miss.
So basically, just for the listeners, if I don't, if I decide, for example, that the one where it's the 3 is like my attack someone, then essentially I just take some harm and nothing happens, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So that's pretty pointless. So I'm going to take terrible harm, unfortunately. But I'm going to get a 10 on my attack someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get a 10 on attack them.
Wait. I get -1 on going.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
So
do both of them. Yeah, okay, cool. That's fine. It's still what it is. That's still a success.
Yeah. So you get a 9 on attack someone, but you do take terrible harm.
Yeah.
You don't take more harm from them being a gang, if I'm correct about that.
No, I don't.
Yeah. So they deal 2 harm, which is exactly your armor, but you take terrible harm, so it's 3 harm, which means that the total effect is on your sheet. You take 1, and then you will have to make the harm move after this. But first,
I think I want to disperse the gang. So there's just Octothorpe and me.
Yeah, makes sense. So mark a harm and then pick your attack options. You do however much your blade thrower does to them.
My blade thrower is a 4 harm weapon.
Yep. So that's definitely enough. You will kill a couple of them either way, but
yeah. And now have a clear path towards this guy.
But you do pick one option for what to do besides. You got the 7 to 9, so you still choose one from the attack someone list, like impress, frighten, or dismay, pin them down, etc.
So I did pick get them out of the way, but if you think that happens automatically,
no. Sorry, I misunderstood you. Yes, you get them out of the way and you inflict harm. So yes,
cool.
You don't necessarily kill all of them, but they scatter, they disperse. I think one of them definitely dies because this is 4 harm. Geez. I think a second one falls off the train and probably dies, just trying to scramble out of the way.
Yep.
And the other 2, perhaps they disperse, but they are no longer in your way. They move off to the sides. You clear a path. You take a harm, though, and you make the harm move.
Oh, just 1 harm? Okay.
1 harm after armor.
Okay. So that's... this one is not modified by Visions of Death, I hope. Oh, wait, no. It should be.
It should be, yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's a total of -2.
-2. Yes, that's how that works. And I miss.
Oh, that's quite bad. Well, I'm not going to take you out of the action. That's really boring. And you weren't hit by the guy who knocks you over automatically. I think it's worse than it seems. Take +1 harm. I think that makes sense. probably as you fire it off, the guy with the crowbar managed to get a really good whack in on you. He like hits you. Yeah, I think you're hit on the head on the helmet, and a helmet protects you from this absolutely, but there's still a lot of raw force going into your head, and like the helmet is knocked askew. Maybe like the edge of the helmet like digs into your neck.
Yeah, I think what happens is that he puts the crowbar on my helmet, and it's kind of like a twists and dents, and then I kind of like take the helmet off, and then he kind of like sees my snarling face, and then I use the helmet to beat him unconscious.
Yeah, makes sense. But you are bleeding, like you took a solid hit by a strong person.
Yeah, I throw the helmet away.
And it's one of those, like, if you hadn't been wearing the helmet, you would be dead.
Yeah,
from
exactly.
That hit. Yeah,
exactly. But I'm not dead. I'm alive. I'm alive, and as we have established, everything is normal.
Yes. And I think you see, obviously, the courier. I think the courier is like transfixed and fascinated with you. And so for a moment doesn't act. Like she could scramble away to flee further, and I think she's also eyeing the whole like disconnect the wagon you're on and just get rid of you. But she hasn't made up her mind yet.
Yeah. So I'm looking at Octotherp, who's got a pneumatic hammer, was it? Or a gun?
A gun in one hand, a big swinging chain in the other.
Right.
And lots of armor. This is a person who's actually equally armored with you, so...
Interesting.
Like, his armor isn't as cool, it's scrapped together bits of train, but you are basically fighting a Vermissian knight here, so...
Yep. Yeah. I got your reference. Let me quickly check something. Very quickly. Ooh, okay. Yeah, okay. Well, there's a guy in front of me. I had hoped. I think Minotaur, not me. Minotaur had hoped that the blade would, that they would get out of the way of this big blade that's buzzing through the air towards them, and that the blade would embed itself on the knight.
Yeah.
Instead, the blade. These guys were idiots. They took the blade. They did. It's like. It's like, I don't know, Kangpa entered the fist. I'm going to take the claw to the face, and then I'm going to roll over and die. That was their move. It wasn't a good move, and he's dead. So now I'm looking at this guy, and I have a blade that I can put a new blade on there, but that gives him time to act. And as we've established, his acting involves knocking me down.
Yeah.
So I can't actually do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my new toy. Liberated and still smelling faintly of cooking oil, is a heavy shrapnel gun.
Okay.
And I just pointed at him. Well, I pointed at their general direction because this thing is messy, which means area effect but indiscriminate. It may or may not hit any given individual target in its area. It's also loud. So I'm just going to fire a whole bunch of shrapnel at this guy and the courier and the cargo.
Fuck up everything in that general direction. Okay, so this is not a threat. You're just firing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it is a do battle because he has a gun. So, like, even if he's not close to you, he can shoot back.
Yeah. What happens if I do the DB roll with -1?
I don't think it works that way.
No, I didn't do anything. Okay.
No.
So that's a
We'll
10.
just look at the raw dice.
So that's a 9 and 5.
A 5.
A 9 and a 5.
You
Now
have
9
plus
is
attack. So
yeah. So I could actually get. Okay, so what is he's as armored as I am, and this thing does 3 harm.
Yeah.
So I do 1 harm, unmodified, right?
Yeah, and he does 3 harm back. FYI, that's his.
That's
harm.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's
I
pretty
mean,
bad.
you have armor, so
That's true. Alright, so that's not actually too bad.
yeah. So he does 3 harm to you, but he's not armor piercing or anything. You do 3 harm to him, but you're also not armor piercing. So effectively, you will deal each other 1 harm if nothing else is modified.
Yeah, and of course we both get knocked back by each other, I guess, because of all this stuff. Okay, let's play it out a bit more. I think I'm going to take the 1 harm, and I'm going to take the mixed result
for both.
But of course, with the mixed result, I can upgrade it to terrible harm.
Yes.
Oh no, actually. No, I'm going to get this guy out of the way as well. Shrapnel is going to fly through his visor, and smash his monocles and so on. And
Okay.
I don't think he's going to be blind dead as permanently, but like he's got scratched eyes and so on. He's not having a great time.
Yeah. Okay. So you want him to get out of the way.
Yeah.
You don't deal him terrible harm, so he takes 1 harm.
Yes.
And
I
you
also take 1 harm.
You take 1 harm, and you make the harm move and lose your footing. Because that's the thing.
Yes. So
and then you make the harm move after that, because more bad things might happen.
And that's also a miss.
Okay.
No, I've already lost my footing, so.
Yeah, so that can't happen. And you are quite hurt.
I mean, I took my helmet off, so I think like if I'm losing my footing, I probably get dinged.
Yeah. Shall we say it's worse than it seemed, and you take 1 more harm?
Yeah, I think that's just
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're knocked off your feet. That just happens, but you hit your head on. I did describe these big spikes holding everything on the side. So like it's big iron bars that you fall into. It hurts.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. However, he is blinded, as you say. So it's not that he physically scrambles out of the way, but he can't see what you're doing, so he can't stop you from getting past him.
Yeah. Once I get to my feet, what's Damnou doing?
Yeah, I think Damnou is pretty clever about all this. And like, you have made enemies of the train. This is bad, but it is at this point kind of inevitable. I think Damnou is heading for... Okay, you tell me. Would Damnou be heading for the emergency brake to try and stop the train? Or would Damnou be heading straight for the courier? Because I think the courier is not paying attention to Damnou at all. You are the way more obvious threat. So...
I think Damnou would go towards the courier.
Yep.
That's been what she's been doing since last session.
Yeah. So that is what Damnou is doing. Damnou is heading towards the courier, keeping a low profile, I think, going along the side of the train by these big spikes, and basically aiming to... I mean, Damnou doesn't want to kill this person. Damnou wants answers, just as you do. So she's just trying to get inside range to like maybe tackle her down, slam her head into the side of the train car, something like that. Which is still a very dangerous move, but less dangerous than just straight out shooting her.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to come to my feet. I don't know if she already does something while I'm doing that, basically.
I think what happens is Damnou gets into position to do this. So Damnou is like by the courier. You can assist her. You can like maybe draw the courier's attention or something like this. And then Damnou, if you succeed, then Damnou will succeed.
Yeah, okay. Well, heavy shrapnel gun, it's also a reload item. I don't think I have the time to reload. So that's another weapon that I... Well, the blade thrower is attached to my arm, so I don't have to toss it aside. I think the heavy shrapnel gun, I just kind of like hold to the side. And then I draw my revolver. And I think looking at the courier, I stumble forward. And I kind of like stand next to the guy who's blinded. And you can tell me if I can just do this, but I think I just shoot him in the face.
Okay. So you're trying to take out Octothorpe. I don't think you can just do this. Okay. He is dangerous. Now, what you can do is distract the courier. This will absolutely distract the courier. But I think it's another do battle with him, because you are trying to get up close to him and point blank shoot him. But he still has his chain weapon, and while he can't see you, he can swing that thing around wildly. So I think it's justified that this is another do battle. However, it will automatically count as a distraction. The courier will not see Damnou at all, no matter how this goes.
Okay. And so it shall be then.
Yeah, but I hope that's fair. I have telegraphed this guy as a dangerous guy, and he's technically only taken 1 harm and has a weapon that he can attack blindly with, so...
Yeah, I wonder if, like, the fact that he's blinded makes a difference.
Yeah, I think you will deal... Or basically, I'm treating his armor as 1 less, because you're shooting him point blank.
Okay.
So he only has 1 armor.
Okay, I'm using the revolver. That's 3 harm.
Yep.
So I think that should. Okay, so he's going to die, unless I miss, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. DB -1. That's a 10 and a... Sorry, yes, that's a 9 and a 5. 9 and a 5. No, I'm going to make it a 9 and a 7. So I'm going to take 1 harm. And I'm going to...
You take his normal harm. Yep.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm just going to get him out of the way with impress, frighten, or dismay them. Well, let's just codify it because I killed this guy anyway, right? So I
don't
impress,
actually.
frighten.
I looked this up. He will take 3 harm totally, which is usually immediately fatal, but it's not necessarily so for an NPC. And I think Octothorpe I have flagged as one of the better combatant NPCs we have seen.
That's
reasonable. So with 3 harm, he will survive this. He will have serious wounds, multiple broken bones, can be left for dead, etc. But he will not actually die unless you choose to do incredible harm with another +1.
Let's do that then. I'll kill him because I distract the courier anyway, so I don't actually need to do that.
Yeah, so the question is, do you want to kill him?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so 4. Usually immediately fatal, so then it is. And I will now flag that you have now killed a person that Kid Gloves cares quite a lot about, actually. Just in terms of being their most valuable asset. So.
Well, Kid Gloves is a traitor to the valley, so.
Yeah.
I guess you can codify it that way, yes.
Why is the courier on the train?
Yeah. Why indeed.
Okay, I'm going to take a harm, though.
Yep. You're going to take a harm and then make the harm move again. And you are getting plenty fucked up.
Now, this time, I have also missed.
Oh. So if you take an additional harm, life becomes untenable.
Yes.
Yeah, fuck it, let's go for it. So life becomes untenable. That does not mean you immediately die, but you will get to choose one of your options, which I will tell you about shortly. The vibe here I'm going for is not that you immediately die. You are just so screwed up from multiple wounds, right? This big chain comes into you. You're slammed into the wall. You're groggy. You have probably suffered at this point brain damage. But Damnou wrestles down the courier, just grabs her, pins her down to the wall. And I think, okay, you tell me. I will give you like an action here as you lay dying. You shoot the other guy. You fall down next to the emergency brakes. Do you pull them, or do you do something else?
Emergency brakes. I'm dying. Can I see what's going on with Damnou? No, I assume not really.
Yes, I'm telling you. She is wrestling down the courier. The reason I'm asking about the emergency brakes is that if the emergency brakes are not pulled, then...
No, I was asking from Terminator's perspective if she could see it. Okay. If the emergency brakes are not pulled, then what happens?
If they're not pulled, then Damnou will have wrestled down the courier, but still be on a moving rail mall. If the emergency brakes are pulled, then Damnou can get herself and the courier off, possibly, but...
I'm going to open my brain.
Okay.
What would Perfidelity want?
Okay. Interesting.
Also with -1.
I wonder here, might this chain into me things speaking the presidential spider?
Sure, if you think that helps you answer the question that Minotaur is asking, then yes.
Yeah, I think open the brain and then it's like a camera cut to what Perfidelity is doing. Perhaps.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, so it's confusing and alarming visions. So let's cut to what Perfidelity is doing, and then I may add a twist or something. If this had been a 10, you would just see exactly... The camera would just shift to Perfidelity. Now I will maybe throw in a little bit of a sting in the tail. But let's shift the perspective to Perfidelity as you open your brain to her. What is Perfidelity doing?
Yeah, so I think the context is then, Iskandric, did you remove... Is this thing like a thing you'll remove from yourself for like comforts? Or do I have my hands on you when Minotaur tunes in, as it were?
I mean, it's how big is this thing actually? I don't think I asked.
I imagine it to be the size of an organ, which I realize can vary quite a bit, but like
probably like
size
spider.
A heart, right? So about the size of a fist, then like the blood vessels around it.
Something like that, yeah.
I think if it's that big, then Iskandric probably has got it plugged in. Like it doesn't seem like a huge, not a big deal.
Yeah, so I think it's fairly intimate touching. Yeah, I think touching your front, like it's plugged in over your sternum. So kind of a little bit lopsided from where your heart would be. And I shall things speak, like both hands on there, to see what happens.
Yes.
Very nice. So, whenever I handle or examine something interesting with my 13, I can ask 3 questions.
Go ahead and ask.
Oh. I suppose, who made this?
Oh, who made this?
Good
Okay.
question. Good question.
Yes. I think, Tree established this meme a while ago, and I think it's good. So the catering company made this. The same company that made the train.
Delightful.
Perfect.
Lovely. So for my second question,
Uh-huh.
what's wrong with this and how might I fix it?
Okay. Sorry, I'm just taking a note for myself here real quick. What's wrong with this and how might I fix it? The interesting thing here is it depends on your definition of wrong. Like, in a sense, right, nothing is wrong with this in that it's meant to carry on the Knight President Cazador Sicari. It is meant to be. But I think what you realize is slightly wrong about it is it has deviated from its original purpose. So there's something wrong with it in that sense, in that there appears to have been some sort of drift or corruption in the data it contained over time. It was not literally made to make President Cazador Sicari. It was made to make a preserver of the valley. It still is a preserver of the valley, but one with quite a lot of quirks and weird things going on, right? And I think you can factory reset it if you want to fix that. Which will have pretty severe consequences because you will reset it to its original purpose centuries ago. But you can. Or you can choose to let it continue to believe that it is Cazador Sicari specifically. Right? I hope this is clear. So it wasn't programmed to be Cazador Sicari specifically. It was programmed to be something.
It has had its learning. It's been doing its large language model thing.
Yes, exactly.
The Gen AI is generating too good.
Yes,
it's
it is hallucinating, you might say. Yeah, exactly. It has quote-unquote hallucinated Cazador Sicari along the way. Maybe that's a beneficial adaptation. Maybe it's just weird noise. But you can factory reset it by like... I'm imagining this for some reason now, like how you factory reset a Tamagotchi. There's like a tiny little button inside it where you can push in like a toothpick.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think I feel it quiver in my hand when I brush my fingertips over it.
Yeah.
And what has been done most recently to this thing? Obviously, implanting it in Lady Iskandric, but I think there's something else here.
Yeah.
Like before that?
Yeah, whatever information you don't have. We know exactly what has happened to it since it was implanted in Iskandric, so that's not interesting. So, before that... Okay. I will twist this answer slightly to give you something slightly more interesting. Yeah? You realize that there are multiple of these things. So the most interesting thing that's happened to this thing was that it was implanted in Iskandric. But you get like a vision as you run your heads over it, and I think this is a vision, of a stunned and confused man pulling this out of his bleeding torso and holding up an implant. And it's not quite the same implant. It looks a little different. They have had alterations to them. But you realize that the person who removed one of these implants from himself, maybe the only person to have done so recently, is Ashurdan. Ashurdan used to have one. He no longer does.
Very interesting. And so my answer to my master's question is ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
While dying?
Why not? As a treat. Ask
So
questions. Learn what's happening, what's really going on beneath the surface.
Okay. So this is your advice. Rather than pull the emergency brake, ask questions. Is that correct?
I'm not sure how to interpret this, to be honest.
I think Perfidelity would pull the emergency brake because then you have the opportunity to ask more questions.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I'm dying.
Yeah.
Well, you don't.
Well,
Damnou
you'll
will.
get better. Yeah, Damnou will get to ask questions. We also know out of character that you can get better, right? Because life becomes untenable does not necessarily mean death. And I mean, to be fair, Minotaur, you're not entirely sure that you're dying either. You just know that you are very badly wounded behind enemy territory and you're passing out. So, which you might as well assume is dying, but maybe you have hope it isn't. You know, it's not completely crazy for you to think you might survive this.
No, what I mean is I won't be able to ask questions. But sure, I'll pull the lever.
Yeah. Perfidelity would value the answers more than the train, I guess.
Yeah.
And because this was an imperfect success, the sting in the tail I'm throwing in here, Perfidelity, which is mostly bad for you. I don't think Minotaur cares about this. But what neither of you, well, Perfidelity doesn't even know this is happening, but what Minotaur either doesn't realize or doesn't care about is that the train is going really fast, and pulling the emergency brake will be bad for it. And in fact, the rail mod is going to derail. Which has never happened. So
good.
Yeah.
Good. This is good.
But yes, you pull the brake, you pull it as hard as you can. You're not an engineer. And like the trains skip off the rails. Bad things happen. It's just hitting a curve. And you are flung from the train as the train comes to a very awkward halt. Damnou and the courier are like on the next train over. So I think, the train still derails, but they're less violently flung aside than you are. And then as you are flung aside, everything goes black. And now life is truly untenable. So you may die if you want, or you may choose something else. The good news is because you were flung off the train, the rail mold staff don't necessarily find you and finish the job.
Right. All right.
Yeah. And so, would you like to think about which option to pick now? Or would you like to save it for next session? Because I don't mind you picking an option now.
I'm not sure what the interesting direction here is.
Yeah, we can think about it.
Yeah, I don't know. So maybe just talk about it afterwards.
Okay. Either way, if you do come back, you have secured your objectives. So I don't want to take away your success from it. Just that Damnou has the courier. Damnou can find you with the courier, her captive. And then you're at the slightly interesting situation of being like at the mercy of Damnou when you get back, depending on what you choose. But you will have captured the courier. You will get your answers. I hope that's good.
Okay.
Tell me if there's something you object to about this outcome.
No, I don't object to it. I don't object to it.
Okay, good.
Sounds good.
All right. Then, is that a good place to wrap up the session?
Yes, I'd say so.
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Then let us say goodbye to our good friend here.
Goodbye, friends.
Goodbye, friends.
Goodbye, friends. Thank you for listening in. Thank you for staying with us throughout this game of Apocalypse World, and we'll see you again next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Desperate Attune Season 3, called No Anthem. I've been your host, Holly. With me have also been Zoheb, Aadiyat, Salty, and Tree. If you'd like to support our show, you can do so at patreon.com/desperateattune, which will give you access to our Discord and also give you access to our episodes 1 week early. If you'd prefer a one-time donation, you can do so at ko-fi.com/desperateattune, or you can buy our book Sunmirror at desperateattune.itch.io. The intro music is Steady Now by Waterflame, And the outro music is ready now, also by Waterflame. Our logo design is by Fahim Anzum Rumman. Thank you for listening to Desperate Attune, and we hope to see you again next episode.